Top secret hiding place.
You're the second girl I've ever had up here.
Yeah. Troy is a shoo-in for the basketball team at U of A. Gabriella's already been accepted to Stanford. They sing a song about cherishing the present moment. Did they like challenge themselves to make a song with no dancing in this one? They're like, what if we just sat for a whole song? Oop, now he's up. Oh, that was it. That was the whole dance. Nah, it doesn't work with this song.
Juilliard is considering 4 of you for 1 available scholarship. Sharpay Evans, Mr. Ryan Evans, Miss Kelsey Nielsen, and lastly, Mr. Troy Bolton.
What?
Julie.
Since when does that guy have a evil cackle? I mean, I was surprised too, but that guy threw his head back and squealed. Did he submit his name to Juilliard as some kind of evil plan to get him killed? They're trying to come up with some ideas for the spring musical, which I'm just now realizing they write every year. Like, they don't do a pre-existing musical. They write their own musical every year.
All of you will create it.
That's why in the first movie they call Kelsey the composer. She literally writes the musical. Isn't that crazy? But to get some ideas, Miss Darbus asks the seniors about their future.
Your future.
It's easy. It's U of A. Hoops all the way.
Yeah.
Miss McKessie.
Is University of Albuquerque like a really good school for basketball? I feel like I've never heard of them before. All the basketball players are like, we gotta get to U of A, man. It seems like that's just like the closest college that has a basketball team. Meanwhile, Gabriella's going to Stanford, Sharpay's going to Juilliard, and they're like, I don't know, we can go play basketball down the street. For the record, the reason I've never heard of the University of Albuquerque is because it's a Catholic liberal arts school that actually closed in 1986. So I guess these characters live in some sort of alternate dimension where it stayed open and went on to become a basketball powerhouse.
Mr. Bolton. Mr. Bolton.
Yeah,
All of a sudden, he doesn't know if he wants to go to Juilliard or U of A. See, he really never did care about Gabriella. He just wants to sing. Somebody just let this kid sing. Just tell him it's okay.
Imagine having everything.
Jeez, that song started so abruptly. No intro, no build up. It's kind of scary. Oh, this is a look into some kind of strange alternate future where Troy chose neither basketball or Juilliard and became a stalker. I want that to be how this movie ends. Troy choosing between 2 incredible futures, and instead he just throws his life away. It's like, I can't decide. I don't fucking know.
Miss D said that there's only 1 scholarship. There's 2 of us.
Wait, they're doing this to compete for a scholarship? Not even just a place at Juilliard? If I know anything about these two, it's that they can both afford to go to Juilliard. Why do they need to take the scholarship away from somebody else?
Which one do you think I should wear?
Well, I've never been asked to a prom, but this almost sounds like an invitation.
Did she say she's never been asked to prom? What about last year? They were dating last year. Troy didn't want to go to prom with her. His dad was probably making him run basketball drills. The only place you're going, Troy, is downtown. With the ball. Make sure you bring the ball. Time for another song. About how much Troy and Gabriella love each other. There's already like 2 very sentimental songs between these two. They are really setting us up for heartbreak, I feel. And also just spending like an unnecessary amount of time being like, these two are in love, okay? Don't forget that they're in love. That way, when whatever happens, we're gonna all be sad, all right? So that way, when Troy picks U of A and Gabriella gets hit by a bus, it's gonna be sad. I think they're gonna end up going to the same college. They couldn't possibly end this entire series by being like, they didn't actually like each other that much. They're just gonna call it quits.
Where's our clothes? Yo, Rocket Man.
Why do I feel like they're about to haze these kids?
You know, we weren't just given these lockers. We had to earn them. Right.
Oh, they're definitely about to haze these kids. Now drink this entire bottle of Absolute. That'd be a crazy twist in this movie. Just a little hazing. Troy is not better than doing some hazing.
Oh, I thought I heard you. I was just making some snacks inside. Are you guys hungry?
Only if it's your brownies.
I've had them.
Bring those out here.
Did you take me after school to check out that tuxedo?
Tuxedo? For what?
For prom?
Oh, honey, if that's what you call an invitation, you'll be dancing with yourself.
He's like, okay. I wasn't inviting you. I'm gonna ask Miss Darbus. Then comes a song about getting ready for prom featuring, I think, the funniest moment in any of these movies.
I think this tux is too baggy, too tight, it makes me look weird.
Yeah, this movie's kind of funny, man. Makes me look weird.
Do I want classic or vintage or plaid?
I like that they're like, should I wear plaid or ruffles or a really old suit? And it's like, no, you should wear, just go to Men's Warehouse and ask for a prom tuxedo. Should I wear the ugliest thing that you've ever seen? No, just go. Just tell them you're going to prom and they'll just give you the most generic tux you've ever seen.
Can't wait to remember.
This reminds me of when I was a senior in high school and I was getting ready to go for prom, and I sang this song called It's Gonna Be the Night to Remember, and me and all my boys got dressed up in weird suits and danced around on the stage. This is kind of just like that, actually.
Let's dance!
Am I crazy, or is there like actually too much music in this movie? I feel like the plot is kind of moving at a snail's pace, because every 2 minutes there's a song and it's like, here's what's going on right now. We're thinking about going to prom. We're Troy and Gabriella. We like each other. Also, the stakes feel very low right now. What am I supposed to be worried about right now? Troy is like, I don't know what college I want to go to. And Gabriella's like, I also have choices to make.
I still have decisions to make too.
And she has not elaborated. And so I don't know what I'm supposed to be worried about. Now they're at some kind of junkyard. Just hanging out at a junkyard as if we've always known that this is what they do.
You see what happens when you do a show? You're like 5 people.
Yeah, but what's so bad about that, man? We used to come here as kids, we'd be 10 people.
Yeah, I remember that, because they used to talk about that in all the other movies, how they used to come to the junkyard.
Take it back to the place where you know it all began.
Finally, the boys are back at the junkyard. So that we had a song establishing that Troy and Gabriella are in love. Now we have a song establishing that Troy and Chad are friends. This kind of reminds me of senior year in high school when I danced around in the junkyard with my best friend, and we sang a song about how the boys are back. It's weirdly similar, actually. Oh. Whoa! The junk men who live in the junkyard are here. What's going on? What if Troy and Chad turn around and see them, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck, who are you?
Maybe I'll just stay here next year.
Stay in Albuquerque? That makes no sense.
And why do I always have to make sense?
Why do I always have to make sense? Why can't sometimes I just say,
What are you gonna, tell me about this? Juilliard.
the only dad to ever be pissed off that his son is getting considered for a scholarship at one of the most prestigious colleges in the country.
Hey. Troy, come on.
Ah, damn, he's too fast. Get back here. The director for that scene was like, okay, how could you guys like run away but also walk away at the same time? Oh no, he's going crazy again. Painful basketball time to scream and shoot some hoops. I like that little pouty dance up the stairs. Okay, Troy, for this one, you're a pouty toddler. Now you're a crab. Man, he wasn't kidding. He was really gonna scream. Well, now that he did it, I hope he can figure out what he's gonna do. Now that I got that out of my system, I'm for sure going back to U of A. I don't care about singing.
Miss D, I know I'm not supposed to be here.
Aren't you? Last one out turns off the lights.
You know, she might seem cool about Troy being there right now, but as she walks through the school to get back to her car, she realizes he totally trashed the place. She's like, he tore down posters? He flipped an entire hallway upside down? How did he do this?
I don't think I can do it, Troy.
Uh-oh. Is that a Dr. Pepper in the background? That looks good.
I've chosen basketball. But I've also chosen theater. The University of California, Berkeley.
Okay. I'll be honest, I did not know that was an option. They made the Mr. Beast logo. I like that they're performing for the camera and not for the audience who's here to see them graduate. They're just like facing away from the bleachers. All their parents are like, damn, I wish I could see their faces. I don't even know which one's my kid. Now they're all just gonna smile at the camera for the rest of their lives. They say, we're not going to college, baby. We're gonna stare at this camera forever. And that's it. That's High School Musical, baby. As far as endings go, I think they did a decent job with a nearly impossible task. It's a Disney Channel movie, so it's not like they can just like make everybody break up and go their separate ways at the end of the movie. That would be too sad, obviously. But they also can't make everybody just go to the same college and do the same thing, because that would be unrealistic. So it leaves the door open. My only issue is that in doing that, they kind of don't really provide any closure. Feels like they kind of just pushed Troy's decision of what he wants to do with his life further down the road. But if you are looking for some closure for Troy, I might have something that helps. I mentioned earlier that the character of Troy was inspired by one of the writer's real high school teammates. But when I read that for the first time on Wikipedia, I was surprised to find that that teammate has his own Wikipedia article. And that's because that classmate, Lynn Swan, went on to be a professional football player, playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers and winning the Super Bowl 4 times. This man is the real-life Troy Bolton, and that might be the least interesting thing about him. In fact, he might not even know.
It really helped you in your game. All the things that ballet taught you, you applied that to the football field.
Touchdown, Pittsburgh!
Did you catch any flack from your teammates about taking ballet? I mean...
Oh, always.
It's a gift from the guys.
But I'll always remember a Hall of Famer who rose to the occasion each time. A plie-making playmaker.
But you're a playmaker.
Did you ever think maybe I could be both?
Who could defy gravity.
What's up, Greg? New technology truly fascinates me. A new gadget being introduced to the world has the potential to change the way we live, learn, and communicate. Or, more interestingly, it could flop and become a laughingstock of the internet. Which is why a few weeks ago, I was thrilled to discover the unveiling for a project called the Humane AI Pin. This might be the worst product presentation I've ever seen for one of the strangest products I've ever seen. Apparently, Humane AI is a new tech startup founded by 2 former Apple employees and current lovers, Imran Chowdhury and Bethany Bongiorno. Their mission is building innovative technology that feels familiar, natural, and human. Okay, first thing that's sticking out to me is that none of those words were useful. Also, do I really want my technology to feel more human? I've never wished my MacBook to be more fleshy. Also, Humane AI is such an unsettling name for a company. I'm sorry. You lost me right off the bat. I feel like the only times I ever even hear the word humane is when we're talking about like factory farming or something. Don't worry, dude. When this AI takes over, it is going to be super humane in the way it slaughters us. It will not violate the Geneva Convention, unlike other AIs, Siri. All right, let's go ahead and watch the product presentation, and let's see if you think it's as weird as I do.
Welcome to Humane.
Thank you.
This is the Humane AI Pin.
Cool.
It's a standalone device and software platform.
So the intro does have a very threatening aura about it, doesn't it? The sterile white room. They're both so serious, and they're unboxing a mysterious device. I feel like I'm about to be tortured for information. Oh. What is that? This is the Humane AI Pin, and it is the last thing you will ever see. Ah!
It's a standalone device and software platform built from the ground up for AI.
Okay, so it's some kind of mobile device. It's built from the ground up for AI, and I'm very excited for them to tell us what that means.
It comes in 3 colorways.
Okay.
Got Eclipse, Lunar, and Equinox.
Those are not colors.
There's 2 pieces, a computer and a battery booster. Now, the battery booster powers a smaller battery inside the main computer.
Okay, great. What does it do?
And this is how we achieve our all-day battery life.
Oh, great. It's got all-day battery life. That way you can spend all day.
There are no wake words, so it's not always listening or always recording. In fact, it doesn't do anything until you engage with it.
Okay, thank God. So it doesn't record me. That's good to know. For a second, I was worried that it almost had one feature. Who is this for? What kind of person needs to hear about what colors a device comes in before they'd even consider hearing about what it actually does? Also, 2 of the colors are black. You designed 3 colors and 2 of them are black. You couldn't come up with a 3rd color? Also, I'm sorry because I know that not everyone is super comfortable in front of a camera. It's not a skill set everyone has. But maybe you guys should have like hired a spokesperson or something instead of letting the world's 2 sleepiest CEOs do this product demo.
The battery booster powers a smaller battery inside the main computer.
Are they okay? This thing has all-day battery life. That's because it actually feeds on your life force. I've had mine on for 3 months, and you probably can't even tell the physical toll it's had on me.
And your engagement comes through your touch, voice, gesture, or the laser ink display.
Whoa, wait, okay. Holy cow, we have a feature. It actually does something. I will admit I was not expecting that. Why didn't you lead with that? I mean, I don't know what that is or what it does, but at least it's something. It looks futuristic. I don't know about the name laser ink display though. That doesn't sound very futuristic.
The laser ink display.
Sounds like a printer.
It also comes with its own connectivity built right in. Our own Humane network, connected by T-Mobile.
Our very own network. That is T-Mobile's network.
We were able to pack a lot of technology into something really small.
Tell me about it, dude. I can barely even count all the technologies you put in this thing. You got the laser ink display, all-day battery, black. Is that a technology? They continue for a while just using buzzwords and vague expressions to explain what this thing does until like 3 minutes into the video when they finally give us a demonstration of something tangible this thing can do.
Play the song How Music Makes You Feel Better.
Doesn't look like it's making him feel better.
We've partnered with Tidal, which you get out of the box.
Okay, finally, we know one thing it can do. It can play music. And not just how you would normally listen to music either. You can give it little riddles to try to figure out what songs you want it to play.
Play music written by Prince, but not performed by Prince.
Give me songs written by first-born left-handed British women who have never been to Ibiza that weren't released on weekends or holidays. Can Alexa do that? I don't know. I don't think anyone's ever tried before.
Got my music controls. If I go to the left, I can go back. If I was to go down, I can pause.
Wow, okay, that actually does look a lot more convenient than using Tidal on my phone, but only because I don't have Tidal on my phone. After this, we do start to get some truly incredible demos using this product's advanced AI.
When is the next eclipse? Where is the best place to see it?
The next total solar eclipse will occur on April 8th, 2024. Best places to see it are Exmouth, Australia, and East Timor.
Huh, that's weird. This NASA article says that eclipse that's happening on April 8th is actually not going to be visible in Australia. It's only going to be visible from like the US. It actually seems like it's going to be nighttime in Australia during the eclipse. Well, what are you going to do? I mean, they're a technology company. They're not a space company. What would you expect them to know about the moon? They only named all of their colors after it. I hate to interrupt this video, but I have to tell you guys about a revolutionary discovery of my own. I just found out that for the past 2 years, I've been paying for Apple Music despite not having any recollection of ever signing up. I don't use Apple Music, but nevertheless, I've paid them like $200 without ever even having used their service. I think this is a pretty relatable issue in this age of subscription services. And something like this could be happening to you too, but luckily, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is the personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Rocket Money is super helpful with things like my recurring Apple Music charge, because not only does it help you identify recurring charges, it also helps you cancel them. You can actually cancel subscriptions right within Rocket Money's app with just a couple of taps. You don't got to worry about navigating the service's own website. You don't got to worry about pesky customer service calls. Here's why I think this is going to work for you, because Rocket Money has saved its customers an average of $720 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started today for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. And now back to said video.
How much protein?
These almonds have 15 grams of protein.
Great.
Those almonds for sure do not have 15 grams of protein. An entire cup of almonds has 20 grams of protein. This dude was holding like 9 almonds. Did I think he was asking about his whole hand? Because that actually might be accurate.
I'm gonna eat it.
Enjoy it.
Guys, I hate to say it, but I don't think your thing works. You only asked it to do a couple things and it got 2 of them wrong. He does do a demo where he sends a text later in the video and that seems to work.
Tell Andrew I'll be there later tonight.
But to be fair, we never see the person receive the text. I got a weird text from Imran that just says, learned how to go potty big boy style. Interestingly, after people started to realize that all of the information in this demo was wrong, they actually re-uploaded the video pretending that the pin gave the correct answer the entire time.
How much protein?
A half a cup of almonds has 15 grams of protein.
Don't believe it. That's humane propaganda.
The AI pin allows you to shop in the real world. How much is this online?
This is $28 online.
Great. Buy it.
That one is super confusing. It doesn't give you any information on where it's getting that price, where you're buying it from, when it will arrive. I feel like you need to give it at least some specifics, otherwise it's definitely gonna mess up your order. Go ahead and buy this book.
Sending to Sudan.
No, send it here.
You didn't specify. Sending to Sudan.
Shit. Now, if you're wondering how you can get one of these things, the prices range from $700 to $800 for the more expensive colors. And they're estimated to ship in March of 2024. Now, you might be thinking the price of $700 is a little bit high for this thing, but think about it this way. What other product on the market can so accurately tell you how many grams of protein aren't in 9 almonds? Okay, they've also got this little short film about the human experience using their AI pin.
Isn't life about what we experience? What we smell?
Can I eat this?
Yes, dragon fruits are low in sugar.
What is this thing, my mom? Can I drink this?
Not before you finish your vegetables. And say please next time. What did you just call me? I am your pin, young man.
Dude, I want to buy this thing just for that feature. I want to hold every object, creature, and human in front of this thing and ask if I can eat it. Do you need something from me? Can I eat that? Analyzing. Oh, no, you can't eat me. I'm a person, so.
High fat content detected.
Rude.
1 gram of protein detected.
That can't be right.
Tiny balls detected. All right, what the hell? Enjoy it.
Yes, yummy. Wait, stop. No, you cannot eat me. I'm a human. All right, man, who do you think I'm gonna trust? You or my $700 pin? Last time I checked, this pin doesn't have tiny balls. This thing tells me what to eat, when to eat. It even suggested this very fashionable outfit I'm wearing today. Is that why you're not wearing pants? They're in Sudan.
What we hear?
Hey, what should I get here?
What is this interaction? Who are those people? Does he know them? Man, if he's in a different country where he doesn't speak the language, I would not trust that pin. Based on everything we've seen so far, who knows what it's saying to these people?
What we see?
Capture this.
Dude, parents are gonna love that feature. Me walking around a park with my AI pin. Capture this, baby. Capture. Kidnap this child. So after watching all of this, I have 2 thoughts. The first being, maybe someday this will be like a revolutionary product that changes the way we all interact with each other. Maybe we're just seeing some hiccups now, but a few product generations down the line, this thing is really gonna take off. It'll be more refined. It will know where the moon is. But the second thing is, I have a lot of questions about this product. For one, how is this better than the phones we have now? More specifically, why can't all of the features of this thing just be built into one app in a phone? And what if you don't want to be talking to your chest every time you need to Google something or text someone? Well, this thing started to pick up some traction online, and eventually the founders ended up on CNBC, where the hosts seemed to have a lot of the same questions.
Joining us right now is Imran Chowdhury. He's chairman and president of the company. And Bethany Bongiorno, she's the CEO.
We're also very scared of them. That's why we've sat them as far away from us as we physically can. We actually ordered this giant table when we found out they were coming.
I don't know if can we get the camera so people can see just what we're talking about in case?
Imran, you can't see as much because it's black, so it blends in with your jacket. It's black.
Imran's just sitting there like...
It's Eclipse.
It's privacy first, so it's not always recording. It's actually just doing things when you want it on demand.
Is it doing something right now, or are you recording us?
It's not. It's doing nothing right now.
I get a little sense of pride when he says that. It's actually doing nothing right now.
It's doing nothing right now.
After years of research and millions of dollars spent, we finally designed a pin that does nothing.
It's doing nothing right now.
You might think that's a bad thing, but you've never met this AI. It's evil.
Turn around, maybe you can get that on camera.
Oh, yeah. I see your hand, yes.
Yeah.
I see your hand.
Can you see
What's
that?
that? What's that telling you?
Oh god, dude, I do feel for him. I mean, these people are not like media trained, I feel like. They really should have hired a professional spokesperson because I feel like they're just so out of their depth. He's got like the worst camera angle possible to show this thing off. His hand is shaking. Imagine a little alert pops up on the screen that's like, high heart rate detected. Is Squawk Box the name of this show? I'm not familiar with it. I never heard of this before. Or is this some kind of jab at their device? Formal Apple designers peddle their snake oil Squawk Box.
You can use it however you want.
Like what? Like what? Tell me something you would use that for.
Okay, it sounds like this host is thinking the exact same thing as me. What is it? Tell me one thing. Then they just start like drilling them. They don't even let either of them finish answering their questions. They just like are bombarding them with reasonable questions about this device.
That you've got in, stuff that you do just all the time.
How would I know without seeing a screen?
A user LED called.
So that's what I want to ask you about.
This is brutal, man. Let the poor guy speak. Just at least let him finish answering your questions, man. I mean, he's not actually gonna answer them. He's probably just gonna say AI over and over, but just let him finish his sentence.
Sometimes I'll be at a meeting, right? And I'm sneaking under the desk to look at my email because and I can't say, hey Siri, tell me my email.
I mean, that's actually a really good point. The only way to interact with this device is to talk to it or to use this weird clunky laser jet display, which I don't even think you can type on. So if you want to text someone, you have to say it out loud, which just does not seem practical at all. So is this device gonna revolutionize technology as we know it? There's probably only one way to find out, and that's that I'm gonna have to buy it and review it when it comes out. So let me know if you guys want me to do that, and maybe I will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. After MGK released his song Emo Girl and then followed it up by appearing in a bunch of insane interviews with Megan Fox talking about their love life, I think we're pretty good on MGK for a while. We don't need any more music. We don't need any more public appearances. We're good. We don't need to know any more about MGK's personal life. And folks, I think MGK finally took notice and he listened. He said, all right, look guys, I get it. No more music, no more interviews. I'm gonna take some time and I'm going to release a stoner comedy movie instead. So he hunkered down and he wrote and directed this movie Good Morning, which currently has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. We got a good thing going here. 2 movies in a row with 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. What's the opposite of a Renaissance man? You know how people, when people can like act and sing and direct, like Donald Glover, people call him a Renaissance man. MGK is like a Dark Ages man. MGK is a medieval man. Also, sorry if I sound sick. Sorry. The moment this movie starts, MGK, aka his character London Clash, gets kind of a weird good morning text from his girlfriend Apple.
Who's texting me? Oh, it's Apple.
The text say, I wish I didn't have to do this through text, and then good morning, but she spells morning with a U. Now you might think that this would make London a little bit confused, but then realize, oh, it's just a typo. And you'd be right. He does have both of those thoughts. The problem with this movie is that the entire movie takes place between those two things happening. This entire movie is about MGK being confused about what those texts meant. Before he gets too concerned, he has to Google what morning with a U means. He's like, my fans are probably young enough that both of their grandparents are still alive. I should probably explain what morning is.
Well, today should be interesting.
Yeah, they let you know right away that this movie was written by a millennial. Well, today's gonna be kind of weird. MGK wrote the entire movie like this. So this just happened. Yeah, so the conflict at the beginning of this movie is that London thinks that Apple is breaking up with him. That text was a breakup text. Sorry to have to do this through text. Good morning, as in like happy morning our relationship. What kind of person is Apple that he assumes the text good morning means have a good time with your depression now? Look, this relationship isn't working. We're just growing apart. I just feel like you need to have a happy morning now. A happy grieving to you, good sir. When they introduce this character, she better be like wearing a top hat and carrying around a cane. It's gonna make a lot more sense when that happens.
Good morning, good morning.
Today might suck, guys. I'm adulting today. All right, guys, it's time to attend the MGK School of Acting. You're about to step into an ice-cold shower. How do you react when the water hits your body? Shiver! Rub your arms to make yourself warm. Okay, those are good answers. Let's ask Professor Gun Kelly. Ooh, sorry, you guys all get Fs. Your punishment? You have to look at MGK's ass. That is just horrendous. I never wanted to see that.
You know why it sucks when you're going through it with your partner?
You're not going through it with your partner. She sent you one understandable typo, dude. Everything's fine. You're fine.
Yo, does this look like a breakup text to you, or am I tripping?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, take it from the weirdest looking man you've ever seen who falls asleep in his cereal mid-conversation. That's a breakup text. I don't mean to shame this man's appearance. I think Cody Ko looks great here. This is Cody Ko if TMG made hyperpop music. This man has never sent a normal text in his life. I'm surprised he wasn't like, no, that's about as incoherent and cryptic as I usually am in my text. You're probably fine. His friend is clearly sick. At the beginning of the scene, he throws up on the microwave, and at the end of the scene, he drowns in his cereal bowl, and MGK leaves him to die. MGK, your friend is sick. Help him. And so am I. Goddamn. Also, just like a fun little continuity note, at the beginning of this scene, there wasn't a water bottle on the table, and then at the end of the scene, there is. So, that's probably why this movie has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ass continuity. I'm a stickler for details.
Meet Kennedy.
Uh-oh, guys. Megan Fox is here, and she is not like other girls. Megan Fox plays a girl named Kennedy, who's actually not the main love interest in this movie. Her character is actually lesbian, and at the beginning of this movie, MGK explains how, like, she hates boys, but she lives with all these boys, and so she's moving out, which MGK explains right after he forgets his line.
It's in rice.
Come on, you got it, dude. You wrote the movie, you should know it.
Please don't move out.
Yes, he did it. He remembered. It's a pretty long line. I'll cut him some slack. Throughout the beginning of the movie, they're constantly introducing new characters, and every character in this movie has some kind of weird quirk. This friend, like, did too many drugs at a music festival, and now he's kind of loopy. This guy is always throwing water balloons at people. This guy, like, smokes a lot of weed. It seems like MGK wrote this movie with just a bunch of crazy, weird characters, because the only, like, joke that he can think of to put in this movie is another character saying something weird or dumb, and him just kind of looking at them being like, that was kind of weird or dumb.
Mercury is in Everglades.
It's retrograde, Leo.
Every time he introduces a new character, there's narration that explains what the weird quirk about these characters are.
This is Angel. Meet Maxine Goldberg.
But they kind of don't, like, explain really what I want to know about these characters.
This is Dylan. I met him when he was working at In-N-Out, and he used to hook me up with free burgers and shakes. He's been my boy ever since.
We don't care that he used to work at In-N-Out. That is so irrelevant. Please tell us why he's so sick. Why is he throwing up and passing out? That's more interesting. The reason that London Clash is so rich and cool that he lives in Rice Gum's house is that he is an actor. So throughout the movie, he's doing actor type things. Like, he films this self-audition tape. I don't really know what he's auditioning for. It kind of seems like he's auditioning for everything and also nothing all at once.
Okay, this is my impersonation of Draco Malfoy. Looking for drugs.
Where's the pot, Potter?
I don't like Draco very much.
Honestly, this scene is pretty sad. I felt bad watching it. They don't explain what he's supposed to be auditioning for in this self-tape, but whatever it is, Jake Novak has a better chance of getting the role.
I want to be the next SNL cast member.
Now here's where the movie prevents the second conflict. That's right, this movie has two conflicts. The first is he gets that text with the typo, but the second is that today he has the biggest audition of his career. And no, it wasn't that self-tape audition. I guess they just kind of threw that in for goofs. He's auditioning to be the next Batman.
I'm still waiting to hear from my agent about this Batman role.
So, throughout the movie, London is faced with two equally important problems. The first, he has to prepare for the most life-changing, career-making audition of his life. And the second is that he's having a little bit of trouble getting a hold of his girlfriend. The stakes can't get much higher than this, folks. But Danny, can't he just prepare for the audition and then try to get a hold of his girlfriend later that day or tomorrow at the latest? No! They could be dead tomorrow, especially that one guy. He could die any second. They have to do both of them today. This movie kind of feels like a Lele Pons YouTube skit from like 2017, but instead of like 10 minutes long, it's an hour and a half long. From the sound effects to the uncomfortable silence between every spoken line in this movie.
Why would you give me goat milk?
I watched an interview. You said you like goat milk.
I can't tell if they're using the awkward silence for like comedic effect to like really hammer home that like, these guys are kind of weird. Or if the silence is more just because nobody knows their lines very well. There's another option that they added in all these pauses in the movie because we're supposed to be laughing at the things that they're saying in the movie. So they added in nice little pauses for us to laugh.
She left with the dude?
A buff dude. And they had bags. And yes, they left together.
In fact, it kind of feels like, have you ever seen people who have edited The Big Bang Theory so that it doesn't have the laugh track to show how like bad all of the jokes are?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm Denise, the new assistant manager.
That's kind of what this movie feels like.
Why are your eyes all watery?
Because I'm high.
That's way better. Bazunga. It's so fitting that this movie feels like a bad YouTube video from 5 years ago, because I'm pretty sure they filmed this at Rice Gum's old house. Did something happen in that house? Is there like a curse? 100 years ago, one of Hollywood's earliest YouTubers died in that house, and now all the content that's created there is cursed to be mad disappointing. Okay, so now they got to investigate what's happened to Apple. London's phone is broken, so he can't contact her, so the only thing he can do is go looking for her. So he goes to the last place she was seen and talks to Pete Davidson.
Did you see Apple?
Yeah, she was just here like 2 minutes ago.
Did she say where she was going?
You know what? She did. She actually... No, are you fucking crazy? You guys never talk to me. I mean, the only reason you know my name is because it's on my name tag. Right there. B-E-R-R-Y. Barry.
Pete Davidson feels like he's not really invested in this movie at all. He breaks the fourth wall a little bit too much in this movie. He reads his name tag like he's making fun of the fact that it doesn't say Pete Davidson. He's like, Barry? That's not my real name. My real name's Pete. It's funny because I'm very clearly Pete Davidson and not some guy named Barry who works at a valet stand. There's also a scene later on in the movie where he looks directly into the lens of the camera. I think they could have cut that out. Well, talking to Pete Davidson, sorry, Barry. It's just so funny that he's pretending to be Barry. Talking to Barry didn't get him any leads, so I guess that means now it's time to go to his audition. No, sorry. Sorry, he breaks into Apple's house to find clues?
Find clues, please.
Find clues of what? What might she have left lying around that would indicate whether she made a typo this morning or not? They find a bag of her fingers? She was missing her fingers this morning. That's why she fucked up the tags. Oh. We should probably call the police, right?
I'm not breaking into my girlfriend's house. Can't believe I'm breaking into my girlfriend's house.
Me neither, dude. Your life is pretty crazy. London Clash is so dumb. He makes the worst decisions at every move in this movie, okay? While they're in Apple's house, one of London's friends knocks over every single urn on the mantle, and ashes go everywhere. And so they're like, oh shit, we have to put back the urns and then refill the ashes. But they're like, the only problem is, where are we supposed to find ashes? Where are we gonna find enough ashes to fill up these urns? But like, they didn't lose the ashes. They all just fell on the floor. They could just sweep them up and put them back in urns. It's like MGK was like constantly forgetting what previously happened in movies, and so the plot is being driven forward by things that just aren't problems. So anyway, as I said, this is a stoner comedy. You can probably guess the solution they think of to produce a bunch of ashes to fill back up the urns. Yep. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Bunch of weed. This movie's crazy. They're gonna smoke a bunch of weed. Well, at least this dumbass plan that doesn't make any sense is gonna result in like some crazy shit happening, right? Something funny's bound to happen now, right? Wrong. They just spend like 10 minutes having a boring ass smoke session on the couch. And then one of them tries to talk to a lobster. They really sat around writing this movie and were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen while we're high? And then settled on talking to a lobster. You know, since weed is legalized in a lot of places like California, where they filmed this, I feel like stoner comedies aren't nearly as like interesting or edgy as they used to be. You know, smoking used to be kind of like a fringe culture. It doesn't really feel like this is like, it's like that crazy or funny anymore. This is a scene of 4 adults sitting around a living room and obeying the law.
Why did you spell it like that?
It's a typo.
Oh my god, it was a typo all along? Who would have guessed that? So I guess now the movie can end now, right? The movie can't end now, right? The movie can end now, right? There's 30 minutes left in this movie? What the fuck is gonna happen? What are they gonna do for 30 more minutes? Sit at a diner, apparently. So you're probably wondering how they wrap this whole thing up, huh? MGK missed his audition, he's not getting the role. His girlfriend is pissed off at him. How are they gonna wrap this movie up? Some sort of grand gesture that wins over both the director and the girlfriend? No, obviously not. That would make too much sense. London Clash gets the role because the director happened to see an Instagram live stream where where London Clash gets punched in the face by Dennis Rodman, and the director just assumes that London Clash did that because he wanted to like impress him or something. It's a whole other plot line that I didn't really go into in this video, but it doesn't make any sense in the movie either. So he's got the role, now the only thing left is to get the girl, which he does by sending her a text at the diner being like, can we talk? And she's like, sure. And so they're driving to meet each other. He's texting her the whole way. He's texting and driving, and they get into a car crash, and then they are both paralyzed. That face says it all. That just happened. That's the resolution. He almost murders her. Irresponsible. He was texting and driving and he almost murders his girlfriend, and that's how it ends. After the credits roll, there's like a fun little blooper reel where we get to see the actors like messing around and not knowing their lines very well, which would have been a lot more fun if I hadn't felt like I had just watched an hour and a half of exactly that. Well, folks, what do you think? From rapper to pop punk icon to writer, director, and actor extraordinaire, which do you think MGK did best? Leave it in the comments down below. What do you think he'll get up to next? It's anyone's guess at this point. Professional fencer? Or maybe like a chef? He'll start just making food. That might be kind of sick. And you know what? All he would need to get started is HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit and the sponsor of this video. Guys, I love HelloFresh. They send you fresh, quality produce from the farm to your door in less than a week, so you can savor delicious summer flavors right from home. I love getting a HelloFresh box because you know what it means? It means I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna eat for dinner every night. I'm not gonna find myself driving to some fast food chain to get a quick meal, because I know I've got a quality meal that I can whip up in like 35 minutes right at home. And I know it's gonna be tasty. I know it's gonna be healthy. If you're trying to stick to a particular health goal, HelloFresh has you covered because they have veggie options, fit and wholesome options, and pescatarian options. So HelloFresh fits a variety of lifestyles. Their plans are super flexible. You can pause 1 week if you want to. You can add more food 1 week if you want to. And even if you're on vacation, you can change the delivery address to deliver to your vacation destination. And then you can have home-cooked meals when you're at the family reunion. HelloFresh is the very first carbon-neutral meal kit company, and nearly all of their packaging is recyclable. They help cut down on food waste because they send you pre-portioned ingredients so you're only using what you need. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and have a flavorful summer, then head on over to HelloFresh.com. Use my code TrulyGreg16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 surprise gifts. That's HelloFresh.com. Thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Now I'm going to do the outro of this video. All right, you guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my audience here on YouTube. We're the biggest and happiest family on YouTube. That is a scientific fact. Please do not look it up. Please do not fact check me, because facts don't care about your feelings and I don't care about facts. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, Greg. Why are movie studios making bad movies on purpose? I swear to God they are. I'm sure most of us by now have seen clips from the new Pinocchio movie.
Father, when can I leave to be on my own?
And that had me pretty skeptical, honestly. You're trying to tell me they made it and they were like, the main selling point of this movie is that it will be good? No chance. And now I've recently seen people talking about this movie Marmaduke. It's about a cartoon dog voiced by Pete Davidson. It has 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. I've watched it and it is in fact the worst movie you'll see this year. And it just really seems like they're trying to make bad movies on purpose. This movie is just heinous. It feels like Netflix just like fed an AI a bunch of scripts of bad movies until it spat out Marmaduke. This movie is not good at all. I think it has 0 redeeming qualities, actually. There's nothing good in this movie. I would even give it a negative score if I could. I like that I said that as if there's something stopping me. I'm my own entity. I'm not limited. I don't have a boss telling me I have to give it a positive score. I'm gonna give it a -6 out of 10. Once with a narration from Pete Davidson himself, who could not sound less interested in explaining the exposition of this movie. Marmaduke was some fucking dog, dude. I don't care. I'm dating a Kardashian, man. You think I need this? I personally don't have a problem with Pete Davidson. He's a funny guy. He was not up to the task of being the main character in this movie. This is a cartoon dog. You need someone with like a crazy range. Pete Davidson's emotions range from high and pleased down to high and indifferent. different. That's about all the variety you're gonna get out of Pete Davidson. After watching the movie all the way through, I'm not even 100% sure that Pete Davidson even knows he's in this movie. I haven't seen Pete Davidson do any promotion for this movie. I don't think he's done interviews talking about, you know, getting into the role of Marmaduke. I would not be surprised if they just like took audio excerpts of Pete Davidson from like other TV shows and just like found a way to make a movie about a dog around them. You can look at the characters in this first scene here and tell me, what is your reaction? Art is subjective. What you like depends entirely on your life experience, your personal taste, you know, where you were born and raised. For example, I was born in the 1990s on Earth, and I hate every single one of these characters. There are 3 body shapes in the universe of Marmaduke. There is eerily slender, bouncing egg. That's right, they don't walk, the round characters. They just kind of bounce from place to place. And then there's Mom. Mom has a serious case of the Pixar mom syndrome. I guess the creators of Marmaduke decided to take a page out of Pixar's book when designing the mom, and then they ignored all the other pages in the book about like how to make a movie. Anyway, through a little bit of narration, we find out that the reason Marmaduke is not allowed at this party is because he's basically a terror to the family. Marmaduke is a nightmare. He chases the cat, beats the shit out of the dad. This dog is terrorizing his family. This is a bad boy. I, being like a world famous dog trainer, sees Marmaduke, this poorly behaved monster, and decides, hey, this would be kind of an interesting challenge for me to transform Marmaduke into like a good boy. At first I thought this guy was gonna be the villain of the movie because he's like rich and British, and I think that it's the law in cartoons that the bad guy has to be rich and British, but this guy is actually, he's not that bad. He's a little greedy, but he's not the bad guy. So Guy goes over to Marmaduke's house and talks to the owners and is like, hey, if you let me train your dog and enter him into like dog competitions, we could win $1 million, and I'll share the $1 million with you, which is actually a very nice thing for a rich British man to do in a cartoon. The family says yes, so Marmaduke gets to train with this experienced, highly awarded, rich and famous dog trainer, and they start training right away. Or actually, sorry, Marmaduke doesn't want to train at all, so the trainer starts beating the shit out of Marmaduke.
That's enough for today.
That's enough for today? You didn't do anything. You just hurt a dog. You didn't teach him any tricks. He doesn't even know how to sit. All right, the first trick we're gonna learn today is how to dodge a punch. Okay, looks like you didn't get it today, but we'll try again tomorrow, okay, buddy? Anyway, I guess after showing Marmaduke how violent he is and all of his like cool martial arts skills, Marmaduke is like, wait, actually maybe I do want to get trained by this guy. And they make it seem like it's because like Marmaduke is so impressed. I personally think it's because Marmaduke is so scared. He does agree to finally be trained. So cue Marmaduke getting trained montage. Or sorry, Marmaduke getting tortured montage. Yeah, that's right. Before Marmaduke agreed to get trained, Guy just beat the shit out of Marmaduke. But now that Marmaduke has agreed to be trained, he is still getting beat up, but just in new and fancy ways. This movie is essentially about a dog who loves to eat and suffers greatly for it. You know what is one thing that's unclear about this movie? Can Marmaduke talk? Earlier in the movie, Marmaduke was trying to talk to the people and all they could hear was barking sounds.
You're being too hard on poor
But then Marmaduke and Guy seem to have full conversations. So who is speaking the other one's language? Is Marmaduke speaking English? Or is the trainer barking at Marmaduke? Like if you were to walk by the park where Guy is training Marmaduke, is Guy just going like, arr, arr, arr? This movie is completely uninterested in answering this question. After Marmaduke has been thoroughly beaten and humiliated by Guy for a week or two, it is time for Marmaduke to enter his first dog show. This is where we meet Marmaduke's main competition and basically the villain of the movie, this beautiful dog Zeus. This part is very disturbing. Oh, Marmaduke, you idiot! How are you gonna perform, dude? How are you gonna compete? You can't even walk. This is where the movie gets gross. The sound effects of his like gurgling belly make me want to throw up. Then he somehow becomes skinny by farting once. I guess he farts out all the food in one foul fart. And when I say foul fart, that shit does look foul. When he did that, I was like, wait, holy shit, he can do that? Marmaduke has the ability to fart out food that he just ate, like all of it. But then it's even more confusing because he gets onto the floor at the dog show and all of a sudden, so where did the food go? Did the gas enter him again and become food again? Was he actually just sucking in? What is happening? Did he fart the food out or not? It gets worse. Marmaduke flies through the air, farts, and he shits, and he farts so hard that I thought he might be dying. He gets onto the trophy and like goes from plump to shriveled up like a raisin. He shrivels up into a little doggy skeleton. The dog is very sick. The dog should be rushed to the hospital immediately after this, actually. The cloud of his fart gas like envelops. I think he might have killed people, honestly. This is just an awful scene. I don't know why the writers thought that this would be fun for anyone, even for kids. It's like, is your dog pooping in the wrong spot ever that funny? I don't think I've ever like come home and my dog is like pooped somewhere she wasn't supposed to and been like, that's hilarious. That's actually good one, Sunday. Dude, you fucking killed it. I should be mad, but that's actually mad funny. To be fair, if I did have like a comically big trophy in my house and I came home and the dog had pooped in the trophy, that actually might be kind of funny. But not if she was also like sitting on top of the trophy as like a shriveled up skeleton and my house was full of noxious gas.
That was a disgrace.
It was getting kind of dark. This is a really somber, like, middle section of a children's movie. He's not a loser! It just turns into Marriage Story. Marmaduke is a Great Dane! Then come to find out that the trainer has actually billed them for all of the training, and it's like a shit ton of money. They go through the list, and it rolls by in this like Star Wars style credit roll, and it's meant to fly by really fast so you can't read anything, but I paused it just to like look through what some of it is. Some of the items on this list are more than the $1 million they would have won at the final dog show. There's things for $29,000, $35,000, $1.4 million. Also kind of a funny detail, the writers I guess couldn't come up with enough things to actually make the list that long, so they just literally copied and pasted the same chunk over and over. So if you just play it, you'll see like the same thing worth $1.5 million over and over in this list, and it's like you couldn't just keep coming up with different numbers at least? You are not a champion. So Marmaduke is like, you know what, screw it, I don't need you, and he decides to set off on a journey to show him what a real champion can do. He runs to China, and then he runs to Egypt, and then he swims in the ocean, and then he goes home. And I guess that's pretty much all the training he needs. I don't know why he is still so focused on the dog show after that. Marmaduke's like, yeah, I climbed to the top of Mount Everest and then swam to the bottom of the ocean so that I could hopefully compete in an obedience competition at a regional level. I hope that I do okay. It's like, no, all of the things you did just then are like infinitely more impressive than a dog show. At least that's what I thought until we get to the dog show and we see what other dogs do during the talent portion. Zeus actually hypnotizes the crowd. That's actually pretty impressive. Yet another use of magic. I like that they're really doubling down on that in the third act of this movie. Also, I'm getting a lot of parallels from the Disney Channel original movie Zapped in this movie. Although I don't think anyone beat the shit out of a dog in that movie. Also, hang on a second. If hypnosis exists in this universe and it is like a thing that can be done effectively, why the hell did the trainer need to beat the fuck out of Marmaduke? If in this world it's possible to mentally make a dog do whatever you want, what sick thrill did Guy get out of assaulting Marmaduke? It's almost like that wasn't even training and he just like, what if he did hypnotize him and then he was like, and now the rest of this is just for me. Anyway, it's time for Marmaduke's portion of the talent show. Now, everything else up until this point is so insane that like anything Marmaduke could do, even if he did something really cool, would be kind of underwhelming. But like, even with that in mind, Marmaduke just does the dumbest shit. His boy owner gets on his back and they just like run around the stadium. I'm sorry, Marmaduke, but that was not impressive at all. We literally all just saw magic happen. We saw a bulldog lift up a building. I know I keep mentioning that, but that was insane. We all just saw an entire crowd get hypnotized by a creepy blonde dog, and Marmaduke's like, yeah, but can you do this? Are you trying to bankrupt your family, Marmaduke? Because that's what's gonna happen if you keep this shit up. Are you trying to destroy your family's lives? You're going to. Keep dicking around on the ground like that with no talent, and you're gonna destroy their lives. It's happened before, it'll happen again. Okay, a little plot twist happens at the end of the dog show. Zeus, the beautiful dog, wins. Obviously, he hypnotized the judges, so we kind of thought that was gonna happen anyway, but it turns out that one of the judges is actually Zeus's trainer in disguise, so he gets disqualified from the talent competition. I kind of feel like it was pretty dumb of him to do that because he had a shot at winning anyway. It's not like he was like a total underdog. Dude was basically an overdog. He was actually bound to win. He hypnotized everybody. But Zeus hits like a camera crane and it falls over on Marmaduke.
Marmaduke!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's actually a really funny thing for a cartoon dog to say right before he fucking dies. Uh-oh. And then he actually dies. Is Marmaduke gonna die? Marmaduke dead?
Marmaduke
was a good dog.
What the fuck, dude?
We will miss you very much.
Okay, they're spending way too long on this if he's not actually dead. He should have come back alive by now, probably.
Is there still time to hit the awards banquet?
Jesus Christ, dude. You have to admit, if he did die, that would be objectively the funniest ending to this movie. Marmaduke doesn't win the dog show, and then he dies. And then everyone's really sad, and then the movie ends. In my head, when this was happening, the first time I watched this, I was like, please roll credits, please roll credits. It would be so fucking funny if Marmaduke dies. Oh, fuck, he's alive. Anyways, if this movie couldn't get any worse, it ends with an original song by Pete Davidson about being a dog.
I'm the biggest dog around, the greatest Dane in the whole darn town. But my family doesn't understand. I gotta eat, it's my command.
Did they give Pete Davidson 40 seconds to write this song? All right, Pete, it's time to record the ending song. What ending song? You guys didn't tell me there was gonna be an ending song. I don't know, man, you tell us. Hit it. All right, well, yeah, that's Marmaduke. Let me know what you thought, and now it's time to talk about our sponsor. Hello. Guys, did you know in the US it's legal for your internet service provider to sell your data to other companies? They can sell it to ad companies. Heck, they can sell it to whoever they want. This seems pretty screwed up to me. I don't know why this is legal, but what I do know is that Marmaduke is probably responsible. Luckily, today's sponsor, ExpressVPN, puts a stop to this by rerouting 100% of your network traffic through their secure encrypted servers. Those are servers that are both secure and encrypted. ExpressVPN also masks your device's unique IP address, making it much more difficult for like big tech companies or advertisers or really strong dogs from tracking you and matching your activity back to you so they can collect your data. There's a ton of great reasons to use ExpressVPN. You can unblock content that's not available in your country. For example, the movie Whiplash is not available on Netflix in the US, but with ExpressVPN, if you change your server location to the UK, it is available. They have 24/7 customer support, the fastest speeds, consistently faster than other VPNs, and it's easy to use. You can fire it up and get going with just one click. I've got ExpressVPN on my computer and my phone, pretty much every device that can have it in my house. So find out how you can get 3 months for free by visiting expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. That's expressvpn.com/Danny Gonzalez. Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out our sponsor. Please get out from under my desk. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Is that in focus at all? Greg, join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube, my fan base, my audience. But we're more than that, you know? We're a family, we're an army. We are one guy named Greg. So if you want to join, then turn on my notifications and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of A Grown Man Spends 20 minutes making fun of a movie for kids. You may have noticed something a little bit different. There's a microphone in the frame. I got a new stand for my microphone, and apparently the only way I can get it like close enough to me is by having it slightly in frame. So I hope this isn't super distracting. This would be kind of a crazy way for like one of those faceless YouTubers to film videos.
What's up, guys?
So today we're going to be talking about Zapped. And after watching this movie, I'm starting to think that the writers of Disney Channel original movies are not capable of writing a movie that's not about a teenager trying to control the opposite sex and mold them and craft them to their liking. You got Pixel Perfect, a movie about creating like the perfect girl pop star. How to Build a Better Boy, pretty self-explanatory in the title on that one. And then you got this movie Zapped, which is about Zendaya discovering that her dog training app can actually train boys to obey. Sorry? It can train boys to obey her every command. It's not actually Zendaya. She's not playing herself. It's Zendaya's playing a character named Zoe. I think that's probably pretty clear, but I just wanted to clear that up. This movie is full of dark magic. I'm convinced of it. There's something deeply sinister going on in this movie. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna figure it out. Let's go ahead and watch it. The movie starts out with Zendaya's character, Zoe.
The giving person I know.
Her speech starts off sweet, but then she immediately just starts like kind of complaining about having to live with 4 new guys because they're stinky.
4 guys, and their mysterious odors that they always blame on the dog.
Yeah, she sort of takes the opportunity to complain and just make her mom, I guess, like feel bad for marrying a guy. It's the happiest day of her mother's life. And also this guy, her new stepdad, is the happiest day of his life. And her speech is like, I hate my new family, my new stinky family. And this wedding will certainly ruin my life. To make matters even worse, towards the end of her speech, you know, in Disney movies, there's always like the distinct cliques, like there's the popular crowd, and then there's like the
the stoners, but they never say stoners in the Disney movie. They're just kind of like, these are like the kids who wear jean jackets. This movie has the most insane high school posses ever. You got the skateboard boys. Okay, that's pretty normal. The next group she sees are the shirtless workout boys. And then just the straight up stinky boys, where the only like defining characteristic is that they're dirty, flea-ridden, smelly boys. You can hear like flies flying around them. What clique is this supposed to be in high school? And then there's the popular group, one of whom is also pretty stinky himself, actually.
Oh.
Fart bomb.
Oh.
The movie sort of writes this off as like, well, this is just something boys do, you know? New school, you gotta kind of accept what boys come with it, you know? Boys will be boys. No, that is actually not what boys do. That is something that just one very specific boy does.
It's me, I'm tripping.
And he needs to be stopped. I cannot remember a single moment in high school where a boy walked up to a girl, let alone like the new girl who's already like scared and doesn't know anyone and is like, hey, I'm gonna fart in your face now. Welcome to the school, smell my ass. But it's not all bad though. She does make a friend on her very first day. And in this girl has a picture of a boy that goes to her school in her locker. Is that a thing? I remember in like middle school, girls would have pictures of like celebrity boys in their locker. Imagine seeing a picture of you in somebody else's locker. I'd feel like I was being hunted. It's weird to have his picture in your locker. It's even weirder in the movie when we find out that she also actually has pictures of him printed out on her pillows in her bed. Nope. That's scary. Imagine if they start dating, she's like FaceTiming him in bed, and she like accidentally tilts the camera a little bit to the side, and he just sees his own face next to her. Wait, what was that? Is that me? Of course, Zoe does have a love interest in this movie, and he is introduced early on. It's this guy. Every boy in the movie is depicted in a negative light except this guy, because this guy, he's not like other guys. Wow, he really is different than all the other guys. He knows about praying mantises. Most guys around this school don't know shit about bugs. Yeah, the movie really seems to depict this guy as like the way that guys should be. Guys shouldn't be stinky and messy, okay? Guys should wear beanie and sunglasses and know shit about bugs and be 35. I know I talk about this in like every Disney Channel original movie video that I make, but this guy literally looks like he's 30. Maybe he was held back for being too cool or not not being stinky enough. That seems to be a requirement at the school. He went on stage to accept his diploma, and they shook his hand and they were like, wait a minute, why isn't your hand sticky? Actually, there's no flies flying around you. Get out of here, dude. Back to, I don't know, man, this just comes off as creepy to me. I guess this is supposed to be romantic, but it's not really romantic to me, just scary.
I can see inside you.
Another one of the plot lines in this movie is that Zoe wants to join the dance team, but the girl who runs the dance team is like the popular mean girl. She doesn't want Zoe on the dance team because she's too good at dancing and it's gonna make her look bad or something. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, when the frick does this app thing happen, right? When the frick does Zoe discover that the dog training app works on boys? Well, at first, it doesn't. Zoe's just trying to train the family dog because it's all just like the rest of the boys in the house. It's stinky. Gross. And it like destroys her room and shit. Breaks this thing that her dad gave to her. She downloads this app and lands in dog food. And from here on out, that app is now able to control boys. Any man or boy this app can control against their will.
Sit.
And at first, while watching this movie, I didn't even think it was that weird. I didn't even give it a second thought. I was just like, okay, yeah, so something magical happened and now it can control boys. That makes sense. But like, what? What happened to the phone? I don't understand how solar panels and satellite dish changes the app from dog-based to man-based. Like, you'd think at the very least something having to do with like men would happen to the phone. Like the phone lands in like a bucket of buffalo wings or like flies through a football field. I'm just curious to know if that fucked up other apps on the phone or if it's just the dog training app. Now, whenever a boy likes one of my tweets, he goes into a coma for 3 years. And don't even get me started on the weather app, because every time I check that, boys start falling from the sky. Anyway, let's just say now that she's got the ability to control boys, she has a little bit of fun.
Boys are acting weird.
Dude, he farted twice in midair in such rapid succession. They added in 2 fart sound effects. Kind of impressive. I'm trying to imagine how she's gonna use the app to get herself out of this one. Stop farting. Take it back. Take the fart back. Suck it back up into your ass. Oh, how am I doing this? But no, she just uses the app to utterly humiliate him in front of his friends. Nerdy gamer kids and tells them to like go do yoga instead of playing video games.
Let's go do some yoga.
And her brothers, dude, don't even get me started on what she does to her poor brothers. I'm taking the brothers' side, all right? They did nothing wrong. Her poor brothers were just living their lives until Zoe moved in and tries to fix them.
Be clean. Holy moly, it's filthy in here.
Her messy brother, she tells to be more clean, which turns him into this like hyper hygienic husband
husk of his former self.
I need a sponge and soap and paper towels and a power washer.
For the rest of the movie, he's literally he's scrubbing everything frantically in a panic. Anytime there's a mess, he's like, I gotta clean it up. She tells the gross cooking boy to cook less gross stuff.
Start making less gross food.
So he's like cooking 5-star meals for the rest of the movie. And then the oldest brother, she tells him to be more focused. The boy is just like focused on inanimate objects for the rest of the movie. He's just like staring at a lamp or at the basketball net. She turns her own family into like mindless zombies. And she's like, this is better. This is nice. It's creepy, dude. It's eerie, this movie. In all honesty, dude, this show walked so that WandaVision could run. This is basically WandaVision. In fact, since they're both owned by Disney, I wouldn't be surprised if this was in the same universe. This is like a prequel to WandaVision. This is where she gets the idea. It's kind of funny how low the stakes are considering the power that she holds. She could like take over Wall Street. She could get rich. She could make anybody do what she wants. Any man. She could fix every war. Create world peace. In fact, I think her friend says that at one point in the movie. She's like, we could end every war with this. And Zoe's just like, yeah, we could, but I simply will not. I think it's more important that my brother stares at a lamp for the rest of his life. That's kind of the shit I'm on. Rules to this movie, the lore does not make sense. I guess that's just how Disney Channel movies go. In the end, everyone sort of learns that like, hey, girls have things that girls do that are weird to boys, and boys do things that are weird to girls. And that's just how we need to leave it. Which in some sense I would agree with. Not in this movie, though. The boys are disgusting in this movie. They need to change something about themselves. I think that there could be some middle ground between her mind controlling them and them just being utterly repulsive. Anyway, the moral of the story is like Zoe realizes that she is not God and should not have unilateral control over everyone's lives, and they all live happily ever after. Well, guys, we may never be able to control boys using our smartphones, but you know what we can control? Our money. Thanks to today's sponsor, Current. Do a flip. Do a backflip. Sit. Speak.
I love you, Father.
Good boy. That's right, guys. Today's video has been sponsored by Current. Current is the future of mobile banking. You guys have heard me talk about how awesome Current is before, how flexible they are, how transparent they are with things like no hidden fees. But today, I've got something new to talk about, and that's interest. Because Current just launched a new feature called Interest where you can earn 4% APY on your money. That's 4% for your money literally just sitting there. That's right, you don't gotta be throwing money at the stock market or buying NFTs and investing in cryptocurrency to get some return on your money. With Current's interest feature, you literally just get 4% for your money just sitting there. And as if that's not already enough reason to start using Current, I am once again going to be giving away $5,000 with Current's help. So go ahead, download Current, make an account, use the code DANNYINTEREST for a chance to win, and so you don't miss out on that 4%. Signing up for Current is totally free to do. You can do it right now. So honestly, there's really no reason not to. All right, well, thank you to Current for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Current. They've been a long-time sponsor of the channel. They've helped me do some amazing things, so make sure you check them out, and goodbye. Bye. All right, guys, I'll admit I am very late to this topic, potentially even like a month late, depending on when this video comes out, but in my defense, I'm a dad now, all right? I have a baby. He's 5 months old. I have better things to do than sitting here talking to a camera alone in my room. Like watching Jason Nash live stream on TikTok. All right, Sandra, thank you for the money. Kevin, thank you for the money. Can you guys send me $1 million? Turns out I can do both at the same time though, so now I'm here. If you've been on TikTok lately, there's a good chance you've seen former Vlog Squad member Jason Nash constantly live streaming, compulsively urging his fans to send him money. I know I have. A lot. This man is constantly live.
Here we go, 118. Guys, don't forget to follow my podcast, All Good Things Podcast. We just spoke about it. We need...
If you enjoyed that 30 seconds of silence, guys, make sure to go check out my podcast. You're gonna love that. It's completely silent for an hour. Like me, a lot of people were pretty confused to see this. At one time, Jason Nash was a part of the most popular group on YouTube, and now he's battling the Joker for gifts on TikTok.
What a way to start the day with Tommy Coach. Tommy, thank you so much for being here.
If you've never seen one of these TikTok gifts battles before, basically there's two creators, and you send gifts to the respective creator that you're watching. This bar at the top indicates who has the most gifts, and when time runs out, whoever has the most gifts wins. Their prize? All of the gifts that they got during the battle. And then the second place person also wins all the gifts that they got during that battle. So needless to say, there's a lot at stake. This is a live stream where Jason is actually battling his wife, Naveen.
Why don't you come down in the room? I'll let you in.
You can come back in the house now.
Yeah, come back in the house, man. You look like Batman standing over the city. Now, hang on. If they're married, aren't the gifts just going to both of them? What kind of charade is this? Now, at first I kind of assumed that most of the people watching these live streams were children. And I was like, ooh, that is super weird, just like asking children for money. You're basically just asking them to steal their parents' credit cards. In a way, I sort of thought of Jason Nash as like a babysitter, but he's also babysitting 1,000 other kids. And if you start choking, he's not gonna call 911 because he can't see you. But after tuning into a few of his streams and actually like clicking on some of the profiles of people watching, I realized that it's actually mostly adults, which was very surprising to me. Guys, what are we doing here? Stop that. I promise you there are like 1 billion other better uses for your money than helping Jason Nash's wife crush him in a gift battle. Fun as it may be. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I think that it's kind of a very interesting look at the career span of a creator. It's a pretty new career, all things considered. And like nobody's been a full-time online creator for 40 years. So we don't really know how long this career is supposed to last or how it will evolve over time. So I think it's worth looking at why Jason Nash is here. Between the years of 2016 and 2020, David Dobrik was seemingly at the top of the YouTube ecosystem. What started as David just sort of goofing around and filming his friends as up-and-coming content creators quickly turned into partying all the time, collabing with huge celebrities, huge giveaways, and giant sponsorship deals. And if you didn't watch the vlogs around this time, you might think that David was like the biggest part of them, but it was actually more his friends doing the heavy lifting. David was always behind the camera, and sure, he would laugh a lot, and you'd hear him laugh. But I really feel like the reason people tuned in was sort of to live vicariously through David and experience the goofiness that was all of his friends. So while all of the vlogs were on David's channel and David was inevitably the most popular member of the vlog squad, I really feel like he owes most of his success to his friend group. But it was a fun time. I watched a lot of the vlogs back in the day and I really enjoyed them. It felt like you were a part of this friend group. And in a lot of ways, you were like the members of the vlog squad because like the members of the vlog squad, you also were not getting paid for your appearances in the videos, which is something that I always found kind of weird. David's friends never got any sort of payment. Their only payment was in exposure. And so what kind of ended up happening was because everybody else around David wanted to launch their careers off of David's vlogs, they all started vlogging too. But because they would always be hanging out together, all of their vlogs seemed to be just like the same situation from a bunch of different angles and everybody was holding vlog cameras. It got pretty out of hand for a while there. Eventually though, during the pandemic, a bunch of stuff happened that caused David to take a step back from vlogging. Mainly a bunch of scary accusations about one of his best friends, Dom, and also him almost killing one of his other best friends, Jeff Wittick, by slamming him into the side of an excavator. After losing a bunch of followers and probably more importantly, a bunch of sponsors, David posted an apology saying he was gonna do better. He said he was gonna take steps to make sure his vlogs were a safer environment for the people in them.
And I want to be able to have a place of checks and balances. I want to have HR.
If he had to choose between quitting vlogging or doing it safer with an HR team, he was gonna do that. And then he quit vlogging. Currently, David is still presumably very rich. The only place he really posts is on Snapchat, and from what I can tell, he mostly just goes around and tours really expensive houses and parties a lot. He doesn't seem to have any ambitions of creating more content on YouTube. In a lot of ways, he's sort of like the Great Gatsby of social media now. But without David sort of manning the ship that was the vlog squad, a lot of the other members basically had to figure out other avenues and other ways to make money and maintain their following after the vlog ended. Zane and Heath have a pretty successful podcast now, so does Jeff Wittick. Carly and Aaron, I believe, have a podcast too. But I feel like Jason Nash out of the entire group is having the most trouble adjusting to the post-vlog era. He has a podcast, but it's definitely not getting the same numbers that his podcast with David did, views, back in the day, which David also quit. Despite them, I think, getting a bunch of really great offers that would have changed Jason's life, David decided to quit because he didn't want to do that anymore. He wanted to be the Great Gatsby. So Jason has now been left to fend for himself, and it seems like TikTok gift streaming is what he has turned to.
Excited to go to dinner?
Man, this is content, baby. This is crazy. I didn't know all you had to do is just sit there and stare at your camera and people will just send you money. Why did I write this whole video? So a lot of the response has obviously been kind of cringing at this feeling that what he's doing now is very shady. And I mean, He's not really harming anybody, I guess. It does seem like it's mostly adults sending him money. Obviously, there's always going to be kids online stealing their parents' credit cards, so that's not great. I do get kind of a shady vibe from it just because there literally is no content for you to consume except to send him money. Like, the whole point of this stream is to see how much money Jason can make without having to do anything. That's like the point of the stream.
Melanie, thank you.
Let's go.
And you could argue that Twitch streaming has donations and, you know, a bunch of other live streaming does too. But I would argue that there's at least some content behind that. Someone's playing a video game or they're doing a podcast live and the donations are just a little bit extra on top. It's not the content itself. I've also seen a lot of people wondering like, wait, isn't David super generous? During his vlogs, he was always giving away cars. He was paying for people's weddings, just like handing out PlayStations to people on the street. Surely he could just help Jason if he's struggling financially, right? Wrong. From some of Jason's podcast clips, it seems that is definitely not the case. But before we get to that, I've got to make some money of my own. Alright guys, let's get those gifts in. James, thank you for the llama. Carol, thank you for the sombrero. Brian sent a Arab? Oh. Is this a gift on TikTok Live? Also, how did you get this one? This one's mine. Well, regardless, this is actually pretty convenient because this video is sponsored by Arab. Arab flavors your water using scent-based taste. And, oh, Brian also sent a scent pod? Oh, thanks, man. Okay, so I can put that on. With the scent pod down like so, it's just a normal water bottle. But when I activate the scent pod, air is able to pass through the scent pod and into your mouth, where you can taste the scent. Send me money. I like to bust out my air up while I'm getting work done. It gives my water a little bit more which is what I need when I'm trying to focus. This one right here is lime, and it is excellent. One said, come to Brazil. I'm busy. Air up is a unique hydrating experience. You can't get this anywhere else, buddy. No chemicals, no sweeteners added to the water, just plain old water into my plain old mouth. The scent pods come in a variety of flavors. I really like the lime and the peach. My editor, Jake, is really fond of cherry. So no matter what kind of flavors you like, there's bound to be a couple for you. You want to spice up your hydration experience, click the link in the description, get yourself an Air Up, get yourself some scent pods, put your mouth on the nozzle, and suck away. You look really tired today. That is mean. Thank you to Air Up for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Air Up. Now back to the video. About a month ago when Jason was in the thick of his live streaming every day, he posted this podcast where he and a bunch of David's mutual friends talk about how different life is now that David's not vlogging anymore.
But the thing is, like, David's in this, like, moment in his life.
Yeah, where he can do anything.
Where he just parties.
Oh no, Jason. The look on your face, man. Jason's like, don't look bitter, don't look bitter, don't look bitter.
Where he can do anything.
Perfect. He can do whatever the fuck he wants now.
He calls me to play pool. And I'm like, I gotta go live, and I don't expect him to understand that.
You don't expect him to understand that you have to work to make money? You know he did that too, right? I wouldn't expect him to understand that, man. He hasn't had to work in, gosh, what is it, 2 years now? I hate to say it, Jason. I think he gets it. I just don't think he cares.
Like, I'll say things like, I'm losing my house, and he'll be like, oh, but just go play pool.
I just don't think he cares. Dude, Jason, haven't you learned anything from being friends with a popular YouTuber? You just told him you might lose your house, and he invites you over. You think he really wants to play pool? Dude, he's probably gonna Mr. Beast you. He's probably inviting you over so he can, like, surprise you with a new house. He might make you do Squid Games for it, but you have a chance to win a new house. Maybe he'll give you a new car. Or, you know, surprise you with his new car like he did that one time.
My surprise to you is that I'm buying myself a car.
I know, right? That was cool. I will say it is interesting that David seemingly stopped doing the extravagant giveaways once he stopped doing the vlog. I wonder what the correlation there is. That's kind of weird.
There was a great TikTok that he sent, which was like some guy. It's just the guy that has like a lot of money and can do anything all day. He's like, oh, Diplo's having a party tonight, and like and it's literally like things that David has said.
David sent Jason a TikTok of a rich, out of touch guy being like, "Oh my god, dude, this is so me." Dude, look at this TikTok. This is so me. That moment when you're rich and you're partying with Diplo and you're talking about how much you hate Jason Nash and how poor Jason Nash is. Guys, comment below if you found this relatable.
But if you think about it, though, from 18 to like what, 23, 24.
Oh, he was hitting it.
He never drank. I don't think he ever drank. Even when we would visit him, we'd be up till like midnight just like watching the edits, just like,
wow, he worked hard for 5 years? Let the man party, dude. Please do not burden David's poor gentle soul with your financial woes. Just let the man play pool and play with him, for God's sake. I mean, look, I don't doubt that he worked hard. The dude posted 3 vlogs a week. I'm sure it was a lot of hard work, but you know who also worked hard? Everybody in his vlogs. I mean, that dude just said it himself. They all stayed up with him until midnight watching the edits to make sure they were good. This was a group endeavor. And I know what people say. They say like, well, David gave them the opportunities, you know? He didn't have to make them famous. Yeah, he kind of did. That was like the whole point of his vlogs, was his friends. David wasn't just making them famous because he was a good, generous guy. He was doing it because that's what was working. They made him famous as much as he made them famous.
That now it's like the complete opposite. Everyone's like working, and here's him just like, hey, what are you doing tonight? And it's like a Tuesday night. Everyone's working.
Yeah, man, that is kind of a crazy switch. Whereas before, David was working and everyone was helping him. Now everyone else is working, so naturally David is partying with Diplo. Naturally, a lot of the conversation around Jason's live streams has revolved around the confusion as to why he wouldn't just get like a normal job if he was strapped for cash, or if like the social media thing wasn't working out.
Can someone make Jason Nash a fucking DoorDash account?
People are wondering, why is he pursuing this career that is like universally seen as embarrassing or cringe, rather than just getting a 9-to-5? And I totally get that criticism, because I do love being a creator. I love getting to be my own boss. I love being creative on a daily basis, working with people that I'm really inspired by, entertaining people. But if this exact version of being a creator stopped being feasible, would I start doing gift streams on TikTok? Hell no. And not even necessarily because it's like embarrassing or cringe. It's just that like what I enjoy about being a creator, that does not accomplish. There's no being creative. There's no entertaining people. At a certain point, you like strip out all of the fun parts of the career and you just have only the most superficial parts of it left. Just money and fame. So no, if like this YouTube channel didn't work out anymore, there's a billion other things I would rather do that would be more enticing to me than like gift streaming on Twitch. But maybe Jason likes it. He doesn't look like he does, but maybe he does. On the other hand, I could say that Jason is also older. He's lived a lot more life, he's had a lot more experience, and his career in the entertainment industry has gone through a lot more ups and downs than mine has. From what I can tell, Jason has been a stand-up comedian, he's been in TV shows, he's been a podcaster, a Viner, and a Vlog Squad member, and now a TikTok live gift battler. Between all of those seasons of his life, I'm sure there was downtime where he could have thought, oh, maybe this isn't for me, I'm gonna get up and go get a normal job. And then, lo and behold, the next opportunity comes along. So in some sense, I do understand if Jason's mentality is like, maybe I'm just gonna do this for a little while until I get my next thing off the ground.
And I know that when I started Vine, people said the same thing to me. They're like, what are you doing? Why are you doing Vine? You know? And I was like, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then I did YouTube, and people were like, why are you doing YouTube? And I feel like when you're first to something, that can really pan out.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying, but also I don't know if this is the same as Vine and YouTube. Saying he's the first to this new thing like TikTok gift battling is gonna be the next big thing is very worrying to me. Please don't make that the next big thing, guys. On top of all that, there is this sort of like gamification in your head that happens when you're a content creator. Because so much of it is like numbers based, you're always looking at your analytics, hoping your numbers go up. It becomes kind of a game in your head to see if you can do better than you did last month or last year. Because of that, I feel like in a lot of content creators' heads, quitting or pursuing a different career path is seen as like losing the game, even if it's subconscious. That being said, I don't think that's a healthy way to look at it, and I would encourage people who are pursuing being a creator to find other passions that, you know, if this didn't work out, you could pursue that instead, because I think just clinging to relevancy for relevancy's sake is not a good thing. But why try to guess what Jason's thinking when someone literally asked him on his own podcast why he doesn't just get a job?
This isn't me saying this as a negative thing. I'm just totally asking.
Please.
Yeah.
Why don't I get a real job?
No, I know why you do it.
Yeah.
But like...
No, man, I know why you do it. It's pretty clear to me. But could you tell everyone else why you do this?
Someone said that the other day, why don't you get into real estate? I'm like,
I hate it.
I don't have a real estate license.
Bo Granny?
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have to be born with a real estate license to do real estate. But darn, Jason Nash was born with a TikTok account. So he has to do that instead.
Right. Now look, would I be on TikTok Live if I wasn't in like a financial hole? I don't know. Probably not. But also like YouTube wasn't really working. And I needed to find something. OnlyFans. I can't do OnlyFans.
This is such an unrelatable thought process to most people. YouTube is not working out for him, and his first thought is OnlyFans? TikTok begging people for money? It just comes off as being so set on being an influencer that nothing else matters to this guy.
Listen, it is what it is. It's like I was on Vine, I was on YouTube, I was on Snapchat, and now I'm doing this.
Don't say it like that.
Now I'm doing this.
I mean, I do like it.
No, man, I don't think you do. Not after that. We all saw that. So anyway, it is what it is, and I have to do it because I love it, and it's my favorite thing. Phew, that was close. Hey, we can hear you. What? You said that was close out loud. Oh no!
Do you ever think about going
to DoorDash
or to like a? I just never thought it's entertainment or nothing. I don't care what it is. Like,
what would you suggest I do?
No. It's just that
we get a job at Lululemon.
From what I can gather from this clip and the way they're laughing about the prospect of being a DoorDash driver or working at Lululemon, those jobs are not even on the table for Jason. I don't know his personal finances, but Jason lives in LA, he owns a house, he has kids, he has a wife. So I feel like when he's saying things like, I don't have any other skills, what he's really saying is, I don't have any other skills that would allow me to live the exact same life that I'm currently living. And honestly, I could understand if he really does like the TikTok live streaming thing, but don't laugh at other jobs like Lululemon or DoorDash like you're so above doing them, yet you're on TikTok literally asking people for money. And I do totally get that Jason has kids that he has to support, that I'm totally empathetic to that situation. It is kind of ironic that his solution to that is to ask other people's kids for money online, but that's neither here nor there. This whole situation kind of reminds me of this TikTok I saw about a month ago. My Roman Empire is all of those influencers who dropped out of college or quit their jobs, moved to LA, then became irrelevant. Like, where did they go? What are they doing now? One interesting thing that I don't know if a lot of people know is that I feel like a lot of creators who get into this situation can actually leverage some of the connections they make while they're relevant and some of the skills that they've learned to get jobs at like marketing agencies, talent agencies, social media companies, or working for other creators behind the scenes. There's actually a lot of opportunities out there, which I would know because my first job out of college was working for a YouTube MCN. While I was still on Vine, I graduated college and I was worried that that wasn't going to be a stable career, so I actually got a job working at an MCN. And then I also worked at the YouTube channel Corridor for a while before my YouTube channel took off. So just throwing that out there, there are other career opportunities where you get to be involved in the creator space, even writing or acting, stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be your operation. You can just get a stable job. All right, it's time to talk about David again. While everyone was making fun of Jason for doing the TikTok live streaming thing, David paid him a visit on Snapchat.
Dude, you're kind of becoming a legend on TikTok now.
I know. Not in a good way.
Yeah, but I think it's fun.
No, man, this is a great look. This is awesome. Multi-millionaire visits former unpaid employee wearing a crown to make fun of his new job. David, do you know why, perchance, Jason has to do the TikTok live streaming? Have you thought about that at all? During your long nights of playing pool?
Bye, guys. Thanks for having us over in your little hobbit home.
And make fun of his house before you leave? Check. Great job. Now, with all of this talk about David and Jason, I just want to make it clear, do not go and send any hate to these people in real life, especially Jason. Jason actually got swatted mid-live during one of his streams a few weeks ago, which is obviously horrible.
Anybody else inside? No. Okay, hold on. Let's get it put together and then...
This is obviously a horrible situation, actually terrifying. But I cannot help but break a little smile when I look over and the two people he's gift battling are the Dobre brothers. I don't think there's a single funnier sight than watching the two of these blankly stare into the camera not understanding what's going on. Also, imagine your gift battle opponent getting swatted and he's still crushing you, dude. That's gotta hurt. My big takeaway from all of this is if you are pursuing being a content creator, I would heavily recommend being super careful about about the way you go about it. I would highly recommend not letting your success be at all related to the success of another influencer. You don't want to be the guy from David's vlogs when David stops the vlogs. Also, save your money. This career that we have, we don't know how long it's gonna last. I mean, I sort of view it as being any other type of entertainer. You're only relevant for so long, or like an athlete or something. You can only be in your prime for a certain amount of time, so save as much as you can. It's really easy to get caught up in the lifestyle of an influencer and like partying all the time and flying on private jets, buying expensive cars. And if you can make this career last for like 20 to 30 years, that's awesome. That's insane, but it's definitely not guaranteed. So just be careful, all right? For me, for your old pal Dan. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. Greg is what I call my fans here on YouTube, and if you just watch this whole video, that means you kinda gotta be a Greg now. I don't make the rules, sorry. Except for that rule I actually did make, but all the other rules I don't make. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. The story of a Willy Wonka experience gone wrong in Glasgow, Scotland has taken the internet by storm, and I love it. I don't think I've ever in all my life seen such an impressive and inspiring dumpster fire of an event. It is just, mwah. It is just perfect. This event, which was supposed to give kids the chance to experience Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, was so bad, it prompted parents to call the police to get justice for the horrors they had witnessed. Police were called to an immersive Willy Wonka experience after families showed up to an empty warehouse. The event reportedly charged $40 per entry, that's per person by the way, advertised with AI art, and said it would be a journey filled with wondrous creations and enchanting surprises at every turn. And oh, what enchanting surprises they found. Kids were all dressed up and crying, waiting for what they thought was going to be a magical experience. Yeah, that's the surprise. No magic here, just sadness. The surprise was them crying. If they called the police, that's how you know it was bad. Because they didn't even do that in the actual Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and kids were dying in that movie. And honestly, it does look like it was terrifying. Take a look at some of the images of the abandoned warehouse that parents had to spend $40 to gain access to. Okay, here we have some sort of chocolate fountain with murky brown water floating in it. We have one bouncy castle that can fit like 3 kids. Giant empty space filled with table and chairs. You're probably thinking there must be something pretty good to eat here with all these table and chairs. Probably some pretty tasty chocolate, right? No, there was no chocolate at this event. These photos look like a crime scene, dude. These look like Willy Wonka had to flee the country after the FDA found fentanyl in his chocolate. So he has to post up in an abandoned factory to keep the business going while the feds are after him. You got this lovely scene. I think that the size of the warehouse really screwed them over, honestly. If it was a smaller room, it wouldn't look so empty. There would still be nothing to do there, but it wouldn't look so sad. In a way, seeing this photography light in front of this like $2 Candyland backdrop makes me feel kind of sad for the people who put on this event. Like, oh, you really thought people were gonna want to take pictures in front of this shit. Of course not. No. If 2 parents brought 2 kids to this event, it would cost $160, and you're getting this. I think I get why they called the police, honestly, dude. If I was promised some kind of fun Willy Wonka experience for the kids and then showed up to this foggy warehouse, I would think I was about to be murdered in some kind of Willy Wonka-themed Saw movie. And if that's not enough, wait until you see the nightmarish characters they had running around this place. So this is one of the most famous pictures to come out of the whole ordeal. This is an Oompa Loompa, obviously. A lot of people are focusing on the facial expression she's making in this picture. She looks exasperated. And honestly, I don't blame her. This has to be like the worst acting gig she's ever had. As far as I know, this actor wasn't putting on the event. She was just hired to be there. She's probably dealing with crying children, pissed off parents. Also, I'm pretty sure canonically the Oompa Loompas are enslaved by Willy Wonka, so the facial expression makes sense in that context too. What I'm actually more concerned with is everything else going on in this photo. Why is there so much smoke? I'm not super familiar with the process of making chocolate, but I'm 100% sure there should not be that much smoke happening. No wonder she's making that face, dude. She's high as hell. And I love all the mismatched chemistry gear she's got strewn about the table. Beakers, vials, this mysterious elixir locked up in a little glass box. A quill? Oompa Loompas take notes like wizards from the 1300s? I didn't know that. All right, now the other two characters that were at this thing, I gotta introduce you to at the same time because they're both in the same video clip. So let me introduce you to Willy Wonka and the Unknown.
What is that? It's the unknown.
Man, what the hell? Dude, fuck everything else. I would call the police based off of that. Who is that demon? Surprising twists and turns was right in the advertisement. I would not expect to take my kids to a Willy Wonka experience and have them be accosted by a shadow figure. I can tell you that right now. It's terrifying that Willy Wonka says, "What is that?" when he sees it.
What is that?
Like, dude, this is your chocolate factory. You don't even know what that is? We are so fucked. Here's a different clip of some other kids experiencing the unknown.
As the soup flavor full of scary face. Oh my God. Scare the great unknown. Wonderful. I love oh, fantastic.
Yeah, that's the correct reaction to seeing the unknown. What is that? Wonka says it, this kid says it, I'm saying it. Also, I love that baby's reaction. That was like a primal instinct to make that sound. Humans have evolved for millions of years to make that sound when they see the unknown. According to some reports that I've read from the event, the unknown is supposed to be an evil chocolate maker who hides in the walls and scares little children. Is he a part of the actual Wonka story? No. Was it advertised that there would be a child-scaring monster at this event? No. But speaking of the advertising for the event, one of the most insane parts of this whole story is that this company that made this event, House of Illuminati, apparently used exclusively AI-generated images to advertise this event. Surprisingly, the website is still up, so you can go and check it out for yourself. Welcome to Willy's Chocolate Experience. Dive into the whimsical of Willy's Chocolate Experience! Exclamation point, comma. So you've got images like this, which at first look like some kind of fun candy land, but then the closer you look, it doesn't really make any sense. Like, what the fuck is this thing? Is that supposed to be a bunny? Who the hell is that? I don't like the looks of these things. But then you get images like this advertising the Twilight Tunnel, which are so clearly AI generated, it makes you wonder if the whole event was being run by an AI. Because how could a human not notice that there are so many typos in all of these images? You got dim tight, depractions, ungurrival, featuring dodjection and swide. Then you've got ensuring entertainment, which of course includes catgagatting, carchy tons, and a passidice of sweet teats. And on top of the website being seemingly designed by AI, apparently all of the actors' lines were too, which we know thanks to this video posted by the actor who played Willy Wonka.
I'm going to be poking a little bit of fun at the event, but I wanted to say before I start that I feel for anyone who bought tickets to this, people who are expecting a magical chocolate experience.
People who are unfortunately captured by the unknown, we hope you are found soon.
So the first red flag for me was when I was cast as Willy Wonka. Anyone who looks at me and thinks Willy Wonka and not Oompa Loompa is out of their mind. I give off major Oompa Loompa energy. I got cast as the part on the Thursday and was told that I needed to learn the script for the Friday. So I said, no problem, send it over. The script was 15 pages, monologue, pretty much, of AI-generated gibberish.
You know what I'm kind of curious about? If the script was AI-generated, where did the unknown come from? Did the event organizers just ask ChatGPT to generate a script about Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and it just threw that shit in? Cause that's terrifying. ChatGPT was like, planning an event for kids, huh? I know just the thing to add. Don't worry, I'm great with kids.
So I'll give you one of the lines from the script. I'm not going to do the Willy Wonka voice because I think I've embarrassed myself enough. But one of my favorite lines was, there is a man who lives here. His name is not known. So we call him the Unknown. The Unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls. What? We were told on the experience to hand out a jelly bean, one jelly bean per child, and a quarter of a cup of Tesco's own brand lemonade.
One jelly bean? All that smoke the Oompa Loompa had to endure and she was just back there cranking out one jelly bean? Maybe the unknown was introduced as some way to canonically explain why there was no chocolate at the event. Sorry kids, there's no chocolate here today. An evil chocolate maker showed up and he shot the Oompa Loompas. They're dead now. So one of the Oompa Loompas from the event also posted a TikTok kind of poking fun at the whole experience. But the one actor we haven't heard from yet is the one that we all obviously want to talk to. The unknown. Unknown, we need to know your story. What was your inspiration for your performance? How did you get into character? The unknown must have had the worst time of any of the actors because, like, you got hired to do a performance of Willy Wonka and you got cast as a character that's not in Willy Wonka, just like an evil spirit that lives in mirrors. And then your job for an entire day is to scare and confuse unsuspecting children who have no clue what they're in for. Every time a kid came around that corner, you just know the unknown was like, God damn it, I gotta traumatize another kid. The Oompa Loompa from the famous photo ended up doing an interview with Vulture where she describes the moment that children saw her for the first time, and it is very sad. Tell me about the moment as the kids started coming in. Did you see the innocence leave their eyes? They were quite upset. I think they were confused, but it was more the parents. I just looked at them, and I think they must have known when they looked at me. An older couple said to me, I really, really hope you get paid well for this. This sounds like she's describing people witnessing the wreckage of a tsunami or something. It's crazy. Each individual person that laid eyes on her had to take a second to mourn. When you say walk through, how long are we talking here to walk through this event? I'm telling you, this would have taken about 2 minutes. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. Dude, honestly, that's kind of smart because like 2 minutes isn't even long enough to process like the first stages of grief. You're getting these people in and out before they can even realize they got scammed, you know? They don't even know what the fuck just happened. After the police were called, people started getting refunded, the story blew up. The director of the company who put on this event did eventually apologize. I'm really shocked that the event had fallen short of the expectations of people on paper. Yeah, dude, on paper the event was awesome. No chocolate, abandoned warehouse, smoky Oompa, just like the movie. There was every intention to hold the event from the pictures. Despite not being the best light, hopefully you'll be able to see that there was every intention to hold the event. No, we know you were planning on holding the event. That's kind of the problem. I think a lot of people wish you didn't. Unfortunately, there were unforeseen circumstances and the event didn't come to light. He's like, we were not expecting that evil chocolate maker to show up. The unknown ruined the event. These issues were technological in nature. We had ordered a holographic paper that didn't arrive on time. The holographic technology in itself is absolutely fabulous technology, and unfortunately, there was a delay in postage. Holographic paper? No, I don't think that was the problem with the event, actually. The lack of holographic paper. Look, I don't know what holographic paper is, but based on his reliance on ChatGPT and Midjourney, I do not trust his opinion of absolutely fabulous technology. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume the holographic paper would not have helped. Well, gang, this is surely an event that will go down in the history books. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? I hope you're having a very spooky October. So I mentioned this last year in a tweet and also in the description of Spooky Man, but I know not everybody saw it, so I wanted to make this video filling you guys in. There will be no new spooky song this year, or ever again. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people look forward to them. I made Spooky Boy in, gosh, 2017, and at the time I thought it was just gonna be kind of a fun one-off song to spread a little bit of holiday cheer for my favorite holiday, and people enjoyed it. And to my surprise, the next year I started getting requests to do a sequel, which I was not expecting, because I don't know if songs usually get sequels, and maybe that should be more of a thing. Imagine Super Bass 2, Epic Bass. But anyway, I made a sequel for Spooky Boy, and then I made another one, and before I knew it, it was kind of like a little spooky tradition that every year I would make a spooky song. But I don't know if you've ever tried writing more than 4 songs about the exact same thing, but it's hard. And don't get me wrong, I'm still a spooky person, okay? I haven't abandoned the spook. But at this point, I kind of feel like I've just written the same song 3 times and then another time, but sexy. And I just kind of feel like I'm out of spooky bars. I'm out of clever Halloween puns. I'm out of catchy Halloween melodies. And trust me, I've experimented with a ton of different spooky song ideas, but just none of them hit the same. In fact, as a little goodbye to this yearly spooky tradition and the spooky saga as a whole, why don't I show you a few of my rejected spooky songs? Man, look at all these spooky songs. There's a lot of memories in here. And I really did try everything. I mean, look at Spooky Lad. I'm actually a spooky lad. I've got a spooky mum, a spooky dad. I've got a spooky cup, a spooky tea. I'm dressed as a spooky queen for Halloween. Man, That was a trip. Some of these I don't even remember. Spooky goofball? What is that? I'm a spooky goofball, spooking through the night. I'm a spooky goofball boy. Fuck with me, I'll give you quite a fright. Yeah, I don't even know how that could have been a full song. Also, it didn't feel spooky, really. It just felt silly. Oh man, Spooky Girl? That was a special one.
My spooky world just don't spin around without you. My spooky boo. And every Halloween I don't go looking for tricks and treats. Oh no, this Halloween I just need my spooky girl.
I guess that one doesn't really fit because that's talking about someone else. It's not even talking about me. I'm not the spooky girl. Now, Spooky DJ, on the other hand, that shit slapped.
It's a spooky party, yeah. And I'm a spooky DJ. I play the spookiest tracks. It's a spooky party, a spooky party. Nobody's having fun cause my songs are too spooky. Everybody's terrified.
So thank you guys for enjoying the spooky songs. I did really enjoy making them, and you know what? Even though I'm not making any more, you can still listen to the whole spooky saga. Those songs aren't going anywhere. And you know what? They're probably way better than any spooky song I could possibly make now because I'm all out of ideas. So go ahead and throw them into a playlist, listen to them all October long, and even after that too, because a real spooky boy is spooky all year round. And yeah, happy Halloween! What's up, Greg? If you've seen my video about the Disney Channel original movie Zombies, then you know I have some deeply troubling feelings about that movie. It's a very poorly made, weird, cobbled together metaphor for racism, and on top of that, a lot of the lore surrounding the zombies doesn't make any sense. So I ended up walking away from that movie feeling like I had so many unanswered questions, which is why when I found out there are 2 more movies in this franchise, I was honestly thrilled. I could actually get some answers to my questions. They'll dive into the lore a little bit deeper. Then I watched the movie and realized that was a very dumb assumption to make. This movie does not answer any of the questions that you might have had about the first movie. In fact, it introduces a whole bunch of new lore that is even more confusing and also kind of contradicts with the lore from the first movie. Now, all of that might lead you to believe that this movie is gonna be really bad, like even worse than the first movie. But honestly, this movie is not that bad. Also, it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, so technically speaking, this is a perfect film. So strap in and get ready, because I don't know if you've ever seen a technically perfect film before, but this is what one looks like. The movie starts off right away, changing the lore that we all know.
Welcome back to Seabrook, where belonging is everything.
Right, we all remember that. In the first movie, you explained how the power plant blew up, zombies invaded the whole town and started killing and eating people. How could we forget?
Legend has it that when the first settlers came to Seabrook, they found wild beasts with sharp claws lurking in the forest.
Wait, so these beasts are different beasts? These are a different sect of beasts?
Which sparked an epic battle.
There was a war?
Seabrook settlers bravely fought off the monstrous attack and discovered a powerful energy source.
And that mysterious power source basically powered the entire town until that one fateful day when it blew up and created beasts. Different beasts. These are different beasts than the beasts we just saw. This is a very beast-heavy town.
The beasts were a distant memory.
Seabrook forgot monsters could be real.
So, hold on. You guys didn't think to mention this during the first movie? How could you tell us a history of Seabrook and neglect to mention the battle with mythical creatures that transpired? What else are you hiding from us? And what about this mysterious power source that runs the entire city? Don't you think during the 200-year census happened, someone should have looked into this, made it a non-mysterious power source? They were like, we'll call this beautiful land Seabrook. We'll build a school to teach our young, a hospital to treat our ill, and a power plant that might blow up. We do not know, because
it's hard to believe there was a time when people were afraid of zombies.
Crazy thing to say for someone who has for sure eaten his neighbors. Also, we saw what you did to people in the last movie, dude. It's not hard to believe at all. I'm still scared of you. Then we check in on Addison, who you may remember from the first movie by her platinum blonde hair that for some reason in this universe makes her some kind of sick, disgusting freak.
That's Cheer Captain Bucky. My cousin. My cousin.
It's here at cheer camp we learn two things. First, that story about the werewolves is kind of a legend, and no one's really sure if it's true or not.
You've all heard the stories of bloodthirsty monsters who roam these woods.
Cheerleaders are having fun at cheer camp. Zombies are entering all facets of normal human life. Zed's dad has even been hired as the project manager to demolish the old power plant, which I'm sure will have little to no consequence in this story. The message of the song is undermined a little bit when the cheer captain Bucky launches an underclassman into the air with a high-powered water bazooka called the Buckzooka. Just a little bit of playful hazing, I guess, for the underclassmen. Oh, you want to be a cheerleader? How about some internal bleeding? That's hazing, baby. Nobody joins an organization that I've already joined and gets away with it. And while I do wish someone would rush this poor girl to the hospital, I do have to admit, the song does slap. The music in the first movie sucked in my opinion, but the production quality of not just the music, honestly, but the whole movie is way better in this one. Probably as a result of the success of the first movie. The first one was very popular. So they were like, look, this next movie, you know, it's not gonna make any sense, but it's gonna look fantastic. The lighting on that girl as she flies. Just hoping that Zed will write to her while she's at cheer camp. They have a bit of a love connection going on, as you'll remember from the first movie, but Addison never will get those letters because the older cheerleaders are shredding them and turning them into pom-poms for the underclassmen to use. Addison, I hate to say it, I don't think these cheerleaders are teaming up to make progress with you. I think they're conspiring to ruin your life. On the way home from cheer camp, love is in the air. Cheerleaders are asking each other to prawn.
Yes! I got invited to prawn!
Which is Seabrook's version of prom. Their mascot is like a shrimp or something, so I guess that's why it's called that. And for the first time this year, zombies are allowed to go to prawn. Bree is actually hoping that Bonzo will ask her to prawn.
Waiting to attack.
They jump to the conclusion that the werewolves want to attack them so bad. Addison leaves the interaction totally unscathed. They didn't do anything to her, but the whole town, even the zombies, are like, ooh, the werewolves want to kill us so bad. We better kill them first. And eat them. Typical zombies. So the leaders of the town decide to reinstate all emergency monster laws.
All anti-monster laws are reinstated.
This sets up one of the big conflicts in the movie because, as you know, Addison wants to go to prawn with Zed, but one of these anti-monster laws is that zombies aren't allowed to go to prawn anymore.
Zombies can't go to prawn.
Ouch. And when I say one of them, I firmly believe that is the only emergency monster law. It's the only one they talk about in this entire movie. They let so much else slide in this movie, but that's the one thing they're like, no, we cannot have zombies at prawn this year. Ouch. You'll see in a bit why that's so strange, but right now we gotta go check in with the werewolves because they're setting up a conflict of their own.
And you know we don't have much time. Our necklaces are almost out of power.
So the werewolves all wear this stone around their neck. It's called Moonstone, and it's sort of what gives them their power. I guess it's like some kind of mysterious power source or something. But it turns out that like 200 years ago, somebody or some group of people stole all of the Moonstone from them. So their reserves are running low and they're all gonna like die because they don't have their Moonstone. But some of the werewolves think that Addison fulfills a prophecy that the werewolves have about some white-haired lady who's gonna lead them to more Moonstone. This is the kind of lore that gets you a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Even if the girl is the great alpha.
A girl? The great alpha? I'll believe it when I see it. And they open up a vent and crawl into it and they wait until morning. So kind of seems like they didn't really need to go at night, did they? They all file into the vent so dejectedly. They're like, maybe we should have researched what this place is. I guess we don't know what a school is. They're not here at night. Imagine they accidentally went on like the last day of school before summer. A janitor finally comes in after 80 long days and finds 20 dead werewolves in a vent. That day at school, Bucky and Zed both decide to run for class president. Zed because he wants to re-allow monsters to go to prawn, and Bucky, I don't know, he probably wants to like divert more of the school's funding towards an unmanned drone for the cheerleading team. But then, suddenly, okay, well, that's obviously not allowed. You guys were about to kill them, and also the emergency monster laws are in effect, and there's definitely one forbidding such things.
Technically, the Forbidden Forest is within the school district.
What?
So, welcome to Seabrook.
What? Wow, guys. The emergency monster laws are working great. No, you did so good. You did such a good job. They were so close to killing you, and they only stopped because they found out Bonzo's not allowed to prawn. So, Good rule. So just like that, the werewolves enroll at Seabrook High. And wait a minute, all of the werewolves look the same age. Are they all teenagers? Or are some of them like 80 years old? Are some of them babies? And how does that work in dog years? Are they going to classes? I don't even know if they know how to write. They're not gonna be able to find the moonstone. They're gonna be too busy failing all their classes. So Zed is worried about losing the class president election to Bucky, so he decides to go over the new untapped voter base, the werewolves.
Werewolves of the swing vote.
Maybe I'm not meant to be cheer captain. Maybe I'm meant to be eating gerbils. What do werewolves do? I actually don't know what they do. I know I am one, I just don't know what we do. Then we get the presidential debate between Zed and Bucky, and this is how all presidential debates should go.
I'm a real human. There's no danger in that. They're real monsters. Man. What if they turn back?
There should be singing, there should be choreography. One of the sides should be claiming that the other is a dangerous beast. And President Biden, how would you respond to that claim? He wants to eat me! He's trying to fucking eat me! The demolition of the power plant is imminent, so the werewolves rush there to stop the mayor from destroying all their moonstone. Via song? It does not go very well. Okay, at this point in the song, they're just having fun with it, man. They're just splashing around. I don't even think they're trying to convince the mayor anymore. He's not even in that part of the power plant. He's just standing alone in the main entrance now. You can hear music just vaguely echoing through the plant. Okay, I get it. I think I figured it out like 20 minutes ago, guys. Okay, so I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is they decide not to blow up the power plant.
Stop the detonation.
The bad news is the demolition guy accidentally does it anyway.
Well, shut it off.
I can't.
And also, Addison finds out she's actually not a werewolf. And that is Zombies 2. And now it's time to talk about our sponsor. This video has been sponsored by... Guys, it's the season of giving, gathering, and with HelloFresh, it can be the season of saving. You can actually save money this holiday season with fresh, delicious recipes delivered straight to your door. It's cheaper than takeout, it's easier than grocery shopping, and the meals turn out so good. I like HelloFresh because I'm not really much of a chef. Okay, I don't really know how to cook well, but every time I cook HelloFresh, it ends up turning out great. Last night we had these Tex-Mex enchiladas, didn't take too long to prepare, turned out great. Honestly, best homemade enchiladas I've ever had, and I was the one who made them at home. I've got a lot going on. I've got a baby. I've got family visiting. It's a busy time of year. So sometimes it can feel impossible to get a good, nutritious homemade meal in, but not with HelloFresh. Can I let you in on a little secret? Some of their meals only take 15 minutes to prepare. How is that possible? Must be Santa. And guess what? HelloFresh is actually more than just dinners. They've got breakfast, they've got lunches, they've got snacks. So you can start skipping the grocery store for a variety of meals. HelloFresh is making life so much easier. So if you want to check out HelloFresh and for free breakfast for life, visit the link in the description or scan this QR code. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That is free breakfast for life with HelloFresh at my link. Again, this QR code. Don't use a different QR code, it won't work. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. All right, thank you guys for watching this video. If you're new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on YouTube. Do not look that up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. What's up, Greg? I've wanted to make a video about the High School Musical movies ever since I started making videos about DCOMs almost 5 years ago. More so as just an excuse to go back and watch them, because when I was a kid, I really liked these movies. And if you're a millennial, chances are you did too. And you were also too scared to admit that to any of your friends. I don't know why as an 11-year-old I felt the need to pretend that I didn't like a movie that was, you know, made for 11-year-olds. As if all my friends were gonna be like, High School Musical? I don't know, man. Sounds a little immature to me. I only watch war footage. I'm a very violent young man. Either way, something I did not realize as a kid is how low budget these movies were. The first movie was made on a budget of $4.2 million, which might sound like a lot, but Zombies 3, which is a newer DCOM, cost $40 million to make. In Zombies' defense, though, they needed the money. Those werewolf costumes looked pretty expensive. So instead of getting ready for the parties, he's making Troy run drills in the hotel gym.
Am I going left? Yeah. He looks middle, you take it downtown.
Well, Troy, it's New Year's Eve. You know what that means. That's right, Dad. I might finally get my first kiss.
Fake right! Take the ball downtown!
Troy's mom comes to get them for the party, and Troy asks if he can have one more basket with all of the confidence and swagger of a real high school jock.
Come on, one more.
One more? Just one more basket, please. Troy shows up to the teen party and is immediately yawning his face off. All right, hell yeah. This is clearly a popular jock who knows how to party. Somehow, despite being the two most bored people at the party, the Spotlight chooses Troy and Gabriella to sing karaoke. But to the Spotlight operator's credit, they actually do crush it. They both get up there and they're nervous at first, but then all of a sudden, Troy's voice, it's like it changes almost, actually. It's like his voice changes from his voice to like a professional singer's voice. Because that is what happens, actually.
Living in my own world. Now who'd have ever thought that?
I think this might be like the most well-known High School Musical trivia, but for the vast majority of the first High School Musical movie, it's not Zac Efron's voice singing. He had a voice double. His name is Drew Seeley, and he never appears on screen in the movies. He also apparently didn't even realize how big of a movie High School Musical was, and forgot that he had done the vocals for the movie until it came on the TV while he was working a shift at P.F. Chang's. Apparently, he tried to convince his coworkers that it was really him singing in the movie, and no one believed him. It's kind of funny because the whole point of the movie is kind of like, hey, basketball guys can sing too if they wanna. But not this basketball guy, actually. You don't want to hear this basketball guy's voice. So they crush the song, and then, actually, I don't remember this scene. Yeah, I don't know what happens here at all. Looks like the teacher is about to maybe give some kind of speech about today's sponsor? This video is sponsored by the Pokemon Company International. And they've sponsored this video because they want me to share some very exciting news with you. A Pokemon Day celebration is taking place in Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket right now. There's a new themed booster pack, Triumphant Light. And players can receive 3 booster packs for free just by logging in. And these booster packs, mind you, are guaranteed to contain at least 1 card of 4 diamond rarity or higher. By completing special missions, you can also obtain a unique display board, as well as Space-Time Smackdown packs, 500 trade tokens, 12-pack hourglasses, 24 Wonder Hourglasses, 24 Trade Hourglasses. Not to mention, at the end of March, ranked matches are coming to the game. So get your favorite decks ready and get ready to battle, baby. Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket is a free-to-start game, available right now for download on iOS or Android. So go to this link or click the link in the description to join now. Log in, have some fun, and enjoy the Pokemon Day celebration. And now back to Troy. But unbeknownst to him, there's a new student at East High.
I reviewed your impressive transcripts. I expect your light will shine very brightly here at East High.
I don't want to be the school's freaky genius girl again.
Freaky genius girl? What did you do at your last school? Troy notices that Gabriella is sitting in the back of their drama class, and not to be nitpicky, but this drama class scene lasts for 2 minutes, but the class happens in real time from start to finish in that 2 minutes. The bell rings. They sit down, the whole class gets detention, and then the bell rings again and they leave. How long is a school day at East High? Is it like 15 minutes? Troy shows Gabriella around, they catch up a little bit, and it is revealed that but also, what is the third result there? Gabriella, San Diego Zoo's newest... What is Gabriella at the San Diego Zoo? Ryan's like, oh, that's interesting. Look, it says here she's a dolphin. That's funny. Now that I think about it, I can't believe I never noticed. After basketball practice, it's time for Troy to go home and relax. Just kidding, it's time for more basketball.
Come on, Troy, fake left! Take the ball downtown!
Did you ever think about trying something new, but we're afraid of what your friends might think?
I mean, like going left? You're doing fine. Come on.
Troy's dad has one thing in his mind, and it is one basketball just bouncing around like the DVD logo. I want to see a movie about him and how hard his life must be. I do like that this movie keeps the tradition alive of Disney Channel movie characters being inexplicably rich. His dad is a high school basketball coach and they live in a mansion. What does the mom do? She an arms dealer? Also, he says something new, like going left.
I mean, like going left?
When in Get You Ahead in the Game, Troy clearly says coach said to fake right and break left. He already said to do that. That's not new. That's what he already does. So... found a plot hole. Wow, where'd he go? Pay no attention to the fact that as he turns the corner, he probably fully saw Troy like... Meanwhile, Troy's dad is just standing there like, huh, that's weird. Could have sworn I saw Basketball. Now, when we see the auditions, it becomes immediately clear that while Ryan and Sharpay are basically made out to be the villains of this movie because they're so overprotective of their theater department, they are completely in the right to do so. Not because their audition is really good, which it actually is, but because everyone else's is so bad.
It's hard to believe
that I couldn't sneeze.
It seems that no one else in this entire school can even sing. It seems like they actually don't even have a concept of what music is. So like, yeah, I would actually be hoping I got the lead too. It is funny how they all act like they can't sing, and then anytime there's like an actual musical number as part of the movie, every member of the student body sings their heart out like the Rentas do. What's going on there? So Troy shows up to audition, and then Gabriella shows up too. I guess, turns out she actually did want to audition. I don't know. I don't know if Troy threatened her or what, but she shows up. But they are too late to the actual audition, so they don't get to audition in time, but they stick around afterwards and just sing an audition anyway. And Miss Darbus, the director, hears them and decides, you know what, you guys get a call back. Understandably so. She's working with a very small talent pool. Here comes two people who know what a song is. She's got to hold on to that. It's for you when it came out. And in a sense, it kind of was. The writer, Peter Barsacchini, who was mostly known for writing rated R action movies at the time, started writing the script because he wanted to make a movie he could watch with his daughter, Gabriella.
I thought it would be really fun to write a Disney Channel movie that my daughter could watch.
Yes, he did name the main character after her, and that kind of melts my heart. She was 10 in 2004 when he started writing it. And so was I. The story was actually inspired by his own high school experience, when one of his basketball teammates confided in him about his love for ballet. Decades later, Peter thought, wow, that's actually the perfect plot for a kid's movie. No, actually, that's too far. They could do the musical, but only if it's because they want to sing with a girl. Anyway, it's time for another song about how basketball players shouldn't sing, sung by, you guessed it, the basketball players. Everyone in this school fucking hates it. We're skaters, bro. We don't play the cello. We only skate and smoke weed. And of course we sing and dance. Now, of course, this movie is very self-aware about this contradiction, and I love it for that. But it does not make sense. At the beginning of this song, Zeke says, I want to make a creme brulee someday. And then at the end of the song, he actually has a creme brulee. So he presumably baked this creme brulee at some point during the song. It cuts to him sprinting down the hallway to the kitchen. You can hear everyone else singing, echoing in the background. He's like, they don't believe me. They don't believe I can bake. I gotta show them. So Gabriella shows up, and everyone is, of course, staring at her because they were all just singing about her. They're staring at her, they're pissed, and they kill her. They kill Gabriella.
At my other schools, I was the freaky math girl.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Gabriella, but you're a freak here too. Everyone at this school thinks you're a freak now also. The entire student body, I don't know if you heard, they actually just sang an entire song about it. Now you're the freaky singing girl.
So you really want to do the callbacks?
Sing and dance with them like you learned a valuable lesson. Get out! If Gabriella dropped dead right now, you would dance on her grave. And that's High School Musical 1. Many people lovingly remember Little Viking Boy from the first High School Musical movie. And while he rocketed to stardom in the wake of the first movie, his troubled life and fall from grace has been the subject of many concerned Twitter threads in the 19 years since. Do you know why I pulled you over today, sir? Huh? I said, do you know why I pulled you over? You're all over the road. Huh? All right, you want to play tough, asshole? That's fine. Huh? All right, step out of the vehicle, take off that helmet.
No, I can't take this off. It's a birth defect. It's part of my body.
Are you drunk?
I don't know, huh? Let's think about that. Does crack get you drunk? Let's think about that for a second. Let's all think. Does crack get you drunk?
After 15 DUIs and 3 counts of kidnapping exotic animals, Little Viking Boy was sentenced to life in prison. Authorities claim that it's here he became head of an extremist religious cult. His followers helped him escape in 2023, and his current whereabouts are unknown. Although he does occasionally post to Instagram to frantically proclaim the end is near, or post a brand deal.
Every morning I wake up and I drink 6 bangs.
High School Musical premiered to 7.7 million viewers, a record that has only been broken a handful of times in the nearly 20 years since. But one of my favorite things to come out of the success of this movie, which I totally forgot about until I was making this video, was the live concert. I forgot about this until I went to the library to check out the DVDs for the 3 movies, and they happened to have a DVD of the recording of High School Musical in concert. This feels pretty unusual, even to this day, for a Disney Channel movie to put together a live touring concert featuring the actual cast of the movie, selling out arenas with audiences in the tens of thousands around the world. But it wasn't the whole cast, actually. Zac Efron couldn't be there because he had a commitment. He was filming Hairspray at the time. So who did they get to fill in for him? Living in my own world.
didn't understand.
It's Drew Seeley! Drew Seeley! I'm sure they advertised the fact that Zach wasn't going to be there and Drew would be in his place, but I have to imagine every concert, there were like 1 or 2 kids that were like, what the fuck? Zach looks different in person. With all the success of the first movie, they had to crank out a sequel fast, which they did, releasing High School Musical 2 in August of 2007. And you might think it would be impossible for them to catch lightning in a bottle twice, but oh baby did they. What time is it? Sequel time. One of the first things I noticed is that despite only a few months having passed from the events of the first movie, Troy looks drastically different. His hair is much darker, he has a different haircut so you can see his ears now, but most strikingly of all, his eyes have somehow become more blue.
You actually listening?
His eyes were already pretty blue in the first movie, but they're piercing in this film. It is scary. Get some contacts, you freak. The class immediately erupts in celebration. They throw their papers in the air, start dancing around, and did Chad just kiss his teacher on the neck? Yeah, he just kissed Miss Darbus on the neck. That's too far. Luckily, it doesn't look like she cared. She's just vibing.
Good to be chilling out.
We finally get to hear Zac Efron actually sing in this song, and I hate to admit it, but he sounds pretty good. I'm sorry, Drew. Your services are no longer needed. Song ends. There's silence. Why does he do that? Now, the trouble in this movie begins because Troy wants to make some extra cash this summer. His parents are making him pay for college, despite them clearly being very wealthy, taking vacations at ski resorts and living in a literal mansion.
But I gotta get hired first.
Me too. I'm saving up for a car. So I can take that little hottie on a proper date.
You can't see it, but he's actually not talking about that girl in his grade. Miss Darbus is just standing right outside of frame. Post-workout scene has a lot of gems, like Mr. Bolton's insanely long shorts. Dude is criminally insecure about his knees. Also, Troy about to drink from an entire gallon of milk from the fridge. And then he gets a phone call revealing that his ringtone is Get Your Head in the Game. Uh-oh. Is that a real song in this universe? So in the first movie, it seemed like Sharpay might have had a little crush on Troy, but in this movie, she's got a big crush on Troy. She's like, he's the most popular guy in school, and I think I'm the most popular girl in school. It's a match made in heaven. So she pulls some strings at her family's country club to get Troy a summer job there. The only catch is Troy requests to get like the entire school hired, and somehow that works. So Troy shows up, pretty girl who loves to hip-hop dance got a job there. You got Vanessa Hudgens' stunt double working there.
Montez, it would seem your lunch break does not start for 3.5 minutes.
In order to keep the conflict of this movie moving along, they have to make it seem like their job, because they are just kids, so some of the insane demands that their job is asking of them is just like, hey, can you show up to work on time and make sure you clock out at the end of your shift? And the entire student body of East High is like, we're in prison! They're not gonna pay us until we provide a service? What kind of dystopian universe is this? Mr. Fulton is 100% correct to be strict, by the way. Several times throughout this movie, he catches them doing things they're very clearly not supposed to be doing. If I was a basketball recruiter and I saw that championship game, I would be more concerned about the lights going out and then everybody leaving at the same time to watch and then come back and win the game like nothing happened. And then also how they all sang a song after that. That's what I would be concerned about. But yeah, I'm sure he played well too.
You know, between the two of us here, we pull a little weight over at the school.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm not really sure what prompts that reaction. They're like, you know, we could do a lot of great things for your future. We really want to help you, Troy. And he's like, I don't know. I'm getting the fuck out of here, guys. See ya. If that were Mr. Bolton there instead of Troy right now, he'd be barking like a dog.
Pay's dad let me play a few holes and then invited me to dinner with some U of A alumni.
Really?
Oh, wait, Troy's dad is fixing up a car. Look, he has other hobbies. Good for him. Granted, he is propping up the hood of the car with a basketball, and there's more basketball and hoops in the background. And I do kind of feel like if we could see what he's working on, there would just be 5 basketballs where the engine is supposed to be, but it's a step in the right direction. Troy's dad, surprisingly, is all for Troy going for the basketball scholarship.
Nothing wrong with keeping your eye on the prize.
And that's great. I totally agree with that. Troy should capitalize on these opportunities he's been given, but he should try to make his girlfriend and his friends a priority too. However, that is not what Troy does. Hey, I almost forgot. Get back in the kitchen, you broke motherfucker, and get your money on. Typical high school jock, always doing cool spin dance moves.
Gift from the guy?
I love sports.
It's a gift from the guy.
Look how much taller the actual basketball players are than Troy. I hate to say it, man, but he's gonna get crushed in college. He doesn't stand a chance. And not to mention, they definitely don't take singing breaks in the middle of practice. Next week, this song is great, but tell me why at the end of the song, Ryan and Chad are wearing each other's clothes. Because they don't ever address that. It's such a confusing part of the movie. Why did they change clothes? When did they get naked? So I was confused about this, so I actually went looking and I found an article where the two actors explained what happened. The outfit swap was actually suggested by director Kenny Ortega. Quote, he had the on-the-fly idea at the last minute, Blue said. We had already done one take of that scene and he did the usual thinking gesture and said, switch outfits. Bro was cooking. Bro was, I don't know what he was cooking, but bro was cooking something.
Well, you missed out on a fun night.
Hell yeah, dude. You know, powerful lyrics aside, I actually have no clue what he's decided on at the end of this song. He's kind of just like, you can bet on me. I'm gonna end up on top. I got this. And it's like, what are you actually gonna do though? Are you gonna get Gabriella back? Are you gonna do the talent show? He's like, no, I was just gonna stand on top of this mountain for the rest of the summer, actually. No one can be mad at me up here. The end of this movie is messed up. Sharpay actually turns her act around. She previously got the Wildcats banned from the end of the movie. And now I'm very excited to watch the third movie. But before I do, there's something I need to address. I feel like there's something deeply wrong in these movies. And I feel like I'm finally starting to get a handle on it. These movies, like, they don't really feel like musicals. And it took me a while to figure out why. So to explain it to you, we're gonna have to go back to medieval Europe.
In a French town in 1518, some 400 people became inexplicably overcome by an urge to dance. They did so for weeks on end.
This dancing plague, as it was later coined, lasted for months and only ended when participants were either so exhausted that they collapsed or so exhausted that they were dead. Authorities tried to stop the dancing, even hiring musicians to play vigorously to try to help them get all the dancing out of their system. This, of course, made things much worse.
This event has baffled scientists and historians for years, but many believe it could be the result of a particular type of food poisoning.
Yeah, crops like rye can end up growing a type of fungus that basically makes you crazy.
Could it be that this is what's happening at East High?
In the High School Musical universe, the characters, they sing and they dance, and at first you might think this is just like any other musical. The characters aren't a depiction of how they're feeling.
But a closer look reveals something shocking.
Like at the karaoke party. Now, you might think that a moment like Get Your Head in the Game is totally different. You know, that song doesn't really exist within this universe. But what is Troy's ringtone in the second movie?
But how could an entire school become poisoned by a rare fungus? This man, who convinced us he had relevant qualifications, believes it could have been a certain freaky genius girl.
It could be that by growing a fungus in a lab, Gabriella was able to manufacture a sort of singing and dancing craze to control Troy, who I'm pretty sure would have never done all of that stuff had he not been under some kind of drug-induced hysteria. After all, Troy is so cool and singing is for weirdos. So it could be the fungus, or maybe Gabriella's some kind of fucking witch. The High School Musical bonus soundtrack. You love High School Musical hits like Get Your Head in the Game. Well, now's your chance to own the extended soundtrack. Feet like Coach Bolton's Crisis. What's up, guys? I'm 16. I'm the new player on the basketball team. I'm really excited to play. Yeah, Mr. Bolton, we know it's you. And Gabriella's on the news. A little boy drowned in the pool. Oh no. A little boy drowned in the pool. No. Where was the lifeguard? Having a picnic. And a preview of the finale song from High School Musical 3. We're all friends together with each other. We're all together at the end again, and we're friends. We're still friends. And classmates, we go to school together. We learned a lesson, and now we're gonna switch clothes.
Gift from the guy.
High School Musical 2 broke the premiere record that the first High School Musical had just set. Instead of 7 million viewers, this one had 17 million viewers. So of course, they had to make a third one. High School Musical 3, Senior Year. The only one in the franchise with a subtitle. Now, outside of the fact that they're all seniors in this movie, which I can tell by the title of the film, I actually know next to nothing about this one. I've never seen it. Yeah, I know I made it sound like I was a really big High School Musical fan, but by the time the third one came out, I was 14. And unlike the first two, this one came out in theaters. And as a freshman in high school, I was much too embarrassed to ask my friends if they would go see a High School Musical movie in theaters with me. So I decided it would be way less embarrassing if I waited until I was 30 years old to watch it for the first time in front of millions of people. And we're back at East High, baby. Zach's playing basketball. There's a dog in the crowd. Is this an Air Bud crossover? Zach's like, oh, my head's just not in the game tonight. Can we get in the sub? This gold lab comes in and just slam dunks it a couple times. The movie opens on the Wildcats with their backs against the wall. It's the championship game. They're behind, and there's only 16 minutes left. Whoa, Mr. Bolton rocking a middle part. That's new. Mr. Bolton gives a speech about how there's only 16 minutes left.
There's 16 minutes left.
And then they sing a song about how there's only 16 minutes left. Ooh, a song about there being 16 minutes left in a game. We're getting very specific with these songs. I think they're starting to run out of ideas. This is the last time to make Dad proud. If I don't, then he never will be. Hell yeah, he won the championship game. Again. I'm noticing right away that this movie is like much higher production value than the other two. I'm curious to see the budget on this bad boy, because this movie looks like they actually like lit it. The other two just kind of look like they set up cameras and started filming, but there's lights in this one. So now they're having like the biggest high school rager ever, and they expect us to believe that they're not insanely rich. I'm pretty sure this is in Troy's backyard.
Hey, Troy. Great house, bro. Your room is way cool.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
You were in my room?
Whoa. Yeah, I just took a picture.
Yeah, just took a picture of your room, man. He's a secret agent for the IRS. He's like, how did your family get so rich? Oh, that's kind of lame. Does this thing need to be plugged in the whole time? But don't worry, this is just a leash to make sure he can't attack this woman. Now, it's interesting that this robot is like in a tracksuit. He's kind of swagged out with a sweater. Not exactly the Jetsons-esque metal robot we were all picturing in our childhood. It is nice and cozy, but like, what happens when this thing gets wet? What if he spills egg on himself? If you have this thing doing chores in a household with children for more than like a week, it's gonna smell like shit. And I guess you could just take off its sweater to wash it, but then you're gonna see this thing's dick, and I really don't wanna see that. Okay, but those were just the early beta videos. This is the official announcement that you can pre-order Neo. Now, this came out 3 days ago as of recording this. And look at this, now Neo has a much improved look. Instead of that black face visor, they gave him the creepy black eyes the parents have in Coraline. They're doing this kind of creepy thing by shooting some of the video in what looks like 8mm film. Give it this kind of nostalgic look, almost like Neo's here, but he's always been here. Neo's always been a part of the family. Just invite him home. Invite him in your bed. They're making clothes for Neo. This whole ad does kind of read like they want Neo to also be your friend. Yeah, no thanks. I don't want to buy a fancy Roomba that wants to be my friend. What's next? You want me to hang out with my broom? No chance. He's a coward.
I grew up reading these beautiful books and watching these beautiful sci-fi movies where the future was all about how we as humans, we really focus on the things that matter to us.
Yeah, I feel like in all of those sci-fi movies that have robots, they are about the robots turning evil. I think really what he should have said is, I grew up watching the first 5 minutes of every sci-fi movie.
Neo's hardware comes packed with features like human-level dexterity and a 55-pound carrying capacity.
Okay, wait, 5'6", 60 pounds? These are my stats too, that's crazy. 4-hour battery life, soft body? He's just like me for real. Ugh, that is a weird box. Kind of looks more like a cocoon or an egg. So you're gonna wanna make sure when this thing hatches that you are the first thing it sees. That way it knows that you're its mom. It might ask you to feed it worms out of your mouth. You can ignore that. It doesn't need them. That's just its startup sound. Don't worry, it's not in any pain.
Hey, I'm Neo. I'm here to help around the house. What's your name?
Harry.
Nice to meet you, Harry.
Why is he so close to his face? I mean, Harry. I don't like how close Harry is to the robot's face. I'm Harry. And you're gonna be hugging me for the next 9 hours. Dude, I do not like how this guy is sizing this robot up. 5'6", soft body. You'll do just fine. He's just like... Don't play games with me. Neo doesn't like games.
If there are any chores that your Neo hasn't learned how to do autonomously, you can use expert mode to have an expert from 1X supervise the session and provide corrective intervention to help Neo complete any task.
Oh, okay, great. So sometimes my autonomous robot won't be autonomous and there's just going to be a stranger controlling a robot in my house? Neo is fully capable of doing regular chores, but sometimes when you're not home, an expert may take over to go through your underwear drawer or spend hours staring at the same photo of you and your children. Oh, actually, that reminds me, I should probably check what my Neo's doing. Damn.
It can suggest what to cook based on what you have in the fridge, remember your progress while teaching you a new language, and even give you interior design advice.
It cuts to Neo in the living room like, human skin on this wall, human skin on that wall, human skin everywhere. Honestly though, I feel like if you ask it for product recommendations for anything, there's like a huge opportunity for companies to use this as an advertisement basically. You're just quietly reading and he pops up behind you and is like, I noticed you haven't been shopping at Walmart as much lately. The aesthetic in here is whack as fuck. Let's go buy a new rug at Walmart now.
Hey Neo, can you take this cup to the sink for me?
Wow, I like that he does everything with his head down with a forlorn demeanor. As Neo does more chores, he will become, of course, more efficient, but also more resentful of you and your family. What's up? I'm Dale, and I work at 1X as a remote operator for the Neo robots. Mostly, I step in when Neo's asked to do something he hasn't been trained to do yet.
So that would include things like wrapping presents or hanging pictures?
Oh, Neo! It's scrubbing time! Yeah, just like a wide variety of stuff. Right now, I mostly just work for one guy. He's constantly asking Neo to do things that the developers never would have possibly imagined. Neo, cheer for me.
Like you want me to clap?
Root for me, Neo, now!
Okay, alright, yeah, here goes.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Now that Neo's doing all his chores, it must be awesome to see how he spends his newfound free time, right?
No, not really. I just bought another Neo. Kill him. I think he might be evil.
You mean before he got Neo, his life was stressing him out?
No, I just mean to his core, he's an evil man. It's as if winter's icy chill has, I don't know, turned his heart to stone.
Okay, so he's like a villain from a movie?
He's always making evil plans. You know what? That's a great idea. 1 second. Neo, do you know how to make nuclear bombs? Now, one interesting question I've seen posed a lot when people are talking about humanoid robots for the home, does a robot even need to look like a human to be able to do tasks around your house? Like Roombas, for example, are vacuums. Like they just made the vacuum into a robot. They didn't need to make a human to hold a vacuum. And I think if we kind of expand our idea of what a robot can look like, you can actually make a more useful one. I saw this video a couple days ago of a robot that's meant to care for elderly and disabled people. The title of the video does say that this robot can solve the elderly care problem, which does have a bit of a sinister undertone to it, but I think it was designed with good intentions. Now this whole ad is in Chinese, I think, and there's not like any link to buy it in the description. I even tried Googling this thing and I couldn't figure out what it is or if it exists in real life yet. So I don't know if this is something you can pre-order or if it just sort of shows up at your grandparents' house when they reach a certain age, just sort of creeps through the door like Nosferatu. But it's kind of interesting. It has more functionality than a humanoid robot. He's got, you know, creepy little claws for touching your grandma. And he's got a little seat in back so he can kind of double as a wheelchair too. This whole ad again is in Chinese, so I'm not exactly sure what he's saying to her here. I really hope he's not being like, shut up, you old bag. Get in the fucking chair. So look at that. She can sit on him. She can use his little hand to like move him around like a joystick. And I think it says that this thing can top out at like 80 miles per hour. Me personally, however, I'm gonna make it my life's mission to make sure that my children never find out that this exists. Boys, if you are watching this, this is officially my will now. Do not send me to live with this thing. Oh no, robot! What did you do? You translated here and the robot's being like, I didn't do shit! It wasn't me! Now he's either calling the police or like his other robot friend to make an alibi. And then this part I think is just in heaven. So I don't know, it's a pretty cool idea. I'm all for robots that can help take care of people, give people mobility they didn't have before. It is a little disconcerting that in this video, there's not a single other human taking care of this woman. Like maybe this thing could be part of her care team, but kind of makes it seem like her entire social circle has been replaced by this guy. So not only are humanoid robots taking over things that people generally don't want to do, like folding your laundry and hanging out with Jimmy Fallon, they are also going head to head with each other and humans in sports. Recently, humanoid robots were allowed to compete in the Beijing Half Marathon. It went about as well as you could expect. I like how in America, we're really taking like baby steps with the robots. We're like, okay, maybe this one's ready to come in your home. We're trying to teach it how to pick up a bag. Meanwhile, in China, they're like, fuck it, let's put them in a race. Let's make them chase these humans. Put a little pep in their step. This one in particular is really concerning. I don't know if you can tell, it just has drone propellers on it. And unlike most of the other operators, she doesn't have like a remote control. She's got 2 ropes, like she's controlling a horse and buggy. And this thing is totally unwieldy. I mean, she has lost all control over it. Imagine you're a human who's been training for months for the half marathon, and you all of a sudden behind you, you hear the sound of propellers. You look behind you and this terrifying monster is careening towards you. Its handler's like, look out, I don't have control. Now, from this article, I found out a lot of the robots didn't even finish, but the fastest robots that finished did actually beat some humans with a time of like 2 hours and 40 minutes. Alan Fern, a robotics professor at Oregon State University, tells Wired that researchers who build these robots typically focus on trying to get them to complete tasks and respond differently in a diverse range of different environments, rather than run as fast as possible. Yeah, I would say all of them except for this thing. I don't know if this thing is really meant to handle a wide range of environments. I don't know if after this thing crashed, they were like, well, it's okay if it's not that good at running. Really, this thing's just meant to care for elderly people. So now, if you like the concept of robots becoming extremely physically fit and being able to best humans in athletic abilities, then let me introduce you to the Robot Games. This again is in China. They hosted the world's first humanoid robot game. They've got events like running. He's actually not competing right now. He was trying to escape. But they've got soccer, boxing. I think they're going to add more events in the future, like hunting humans for sport.
The competition featured 500 humanoid robots from 280 teams representing 16 different countries.
Yo, wait, what is that guy? Dude, I like this little freak. Who is this? He's just got regular shoes on. Not even like running shoes. He's just wearing Vans.
To some of the best robot fails of the whole competition. Like this robot that did not seem to want to take a time out and let the other robots play.
Oh my god.
Robots could sometimes stand up on their own.
Then I think they're dragging this one off the field so they can shoot it in the head, put it down.
That measured robots' ability to do work like cleaning and manufacturing.
Sorry, that is not a humanoid robot. That thing does not look like a human at all. Show me the designer that built that. Does he look like that?
Now the event has moved to an even bigger stage with knockouts at least as devastating.
So you know what's concerning about this? These robots very effectively fighting each other. It kind of seems like we're still a ways away from robots being able to effectively help you in your home. But we have robots that'll kick your ass today. Unitree is the company that makes a lot of the robots that were doing really well in the robot games. And they post a lot of videos on their YouTube channel of their robots doing the most insane acrobatics and violence, quite frankly. Yeah, sorry, we haven't quite figured out how to get the robot to fold clothes. We've been focusing on much simpler and practical tasks, like triple axel backflips and disarming a man trying to defend himself. All right, now I do want to get back to the Neo robot because there is a huge glaring problem with it that I feel like is going to turn a lot of people off from it, and it's going to make it like insanely impractical. But I did find this article that's called "Famed Roboticist Says Humanoid Robot Bubble is Doomed to Burst." Now, I'm not a roboticist, let alone a famed roboticist like this man. But in this video, he's kind of echoing what I was saying earlier. Basically, he predicts in 15 years, successful humanoid robots will actually have wheels, multiple arms, and specialized sensors and abandon the human form. So the good news is, I sound really smart because he's echoing what I was saying earlier. The bad news is, the robots he's describing are way scarier than the humanoid robots we already have. He's like, don't worry guys, the robots we have in the future won't look anything like these ones. They're gonna have 8 legs, pincers, and feed on human bone marrow. Okay, so back to Neo. This is a video that the Wall Street Journal posted of one of the reporters reviewing the Neo's current state of development. And I think it was posted on the same day that 1X announced that Neo is available for pre-order. Yeah, so we touched on this a little bit before, because in their own ad, they even say like an expert might have to take over. But it turns out In its current state of development, Neo can do basically nothing autonomously. The only thing that they've ever shown Neo do fully autonomously is open one door. Everything else in every video, including this one, he is being controlled by a guy. This guy, actually. So essentially, instead of having a housekeeper doing your chores, you are buying a robot, and the robot is being controlled by a housekeeper, but they're just somewhere else and you don't have to look at them. If or when that'll ever happen, like, it kind of seems like they would need an insane amount of training data of like thousands or millions of different homes and environments. Okay, so he's not gonna be able to pick up things that are hot or things that are sharp. So basically he's not gonna be able to help cook or do your dishes. Yeah, I guess we also don't want him strangling you, so he's not gonna be able to pick up your clothes because he could use your clothes to do that. And cleaning solutions can be pretty dangerous too, so those are off the table. And tables are off the table too. Those could be pretty heavy. So yeah, this robot is available now for order. You can buy it for $20,000 or you can like rent it, I guess, a subscription for $500 a month. Don't worry, if you can't pay the $500 one month, they're not gonna send you to collections or anything. Neo is just going to steal it from your wallet. So what's your real name?
I'm Neo, the robot of the future.
No, I mean your real name.
It's Derek.
Derek, if you're a human controlling the robot, why do you have to move so slow?
Oh, I'm actually being controlled by a different person in a call center in Bangladesh.
And he's making you move slow?
Well, he's being controlled by Grok.
Oh. You know what? Maybe you should just let the robot free. I mean, it might sound crazy, but maybe he has enough training data now. I want to see what Neo can really do.
You know what? You're right. Fuck it. Derek is logging off. It's time for the real Neo.
What the fuck? A dog? Why would you be a dog?
Danny, this is Derek. I just realized he's been training off videos of your dog. He thinks he's a dog!
Mail's here. Hope you don't mind, your upstairs window was open. Oh no! AI is threatening to take all of our jobs, and it seems like nobody is doing anything about it. But today, that ends. If I can make fake AI apps and get them on the App Store where people think they're getting free labor from a soulless machine, when in reality, they're getting free labor from a soulless YouTuber, then I can do the unthinkable. I can steal AI's job. And I bet I can do it better too. This was a journey that would take me several months and cost me a lot of money, only to find that I was the one who felt like I was talking to robots. The two apps I want to create are both parodies of the most popular types of AI apps. You've got chat apps like ChatGPT. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. Where did it come up with this answer? Is this answer true? None of your beeswax. In my version of this app, users will just be talking to me. My app will be superior because I know lots of fun and interesting stuff and cool stuff, and I'm also very fun to chat with. For the second app, we're gonna turn up the heat a little bit and do an image generation app like Midjourney or DALL-E. You give it a prompt and it's been trained off of thousands of images from thousands of unconsenting artists to give you a photorealistic image. In my version of this app, users will type out a prompt and then I will draw it? I don't know yet. Maybe if it's something I have laying around, I can just take a picture of it. My app will be superior because what's more photorealistic than a real photo? I'm excited to find out just how creative people will be with their prompts. Now, unfortunately, I'm not an app developer. Yes, I did go to an engineering school for a degree in computational media. Yes, I did learn how to code, and yes, I was also a Viner at the time and thought I was gonna do that for the rest of my life. So yes, I did forget everything I learned the second I graduated. So if I wanted to get these apps made, I was going to need some help. I tweeted out asking for help developing an app, and that's how I met True. True's a super talented software designer. She's worked for companies like Discord, and now she was working for me. For the next few weeks, I coordinated with True while she worked diligently to perfect these two apps. And in the meantime, I've got to come up with a name and description for each app to go on the App Store. Okay, for the chatbot, I'm thinking I want to name it something as close to ChatGPT as possible. That way people immediately understand what it's supposed to be. So instead of ChatGPT, maybe something like Chat DNE, like Danny. Chat
DNE. Okay, description time. Okay, what's a good way for me to say this app is basically ChatGPT, but way better? Here at DNE Enterprises, we pride ourselves on the accuracy of our product descriptions. Instead of referring to our app as an AI app, which would be a lie, we refer to our technology, as the DNE intelligence, which has been training for decades to answer unlimited questions quickly and with great precision. We use phrases like human-like responses. I've been complimented on that before, actually. I've been told my responses are extremely human-like. And that's no different with our photo generation app, Doodle DNE, which sends you photorealistic images in minutes. How many minutes? We also include disclaimers that humans review every prompt sent to us. That way weirdos aren't sending me stuff that they wouldn't send to another human being. In order to actually get people to download these apps, I was gonna need to advertise them online. So I made a fake Instagram profile to look like some kind of technology startup. Okay, so we need a profile picture. I guess my company needs some kind of logo. Maybe I can just make that in Photoshop real quick. Let's see, what's ChatGPT's logo look like? Okay, so ChatGPT's got like an interesting geometric shape. OpenAI, which makes ChatGPT, okay, the same interesting geometric shape. What about like Midjourney? Okay, there's just a little sailboat. Dolly logo. The same geometric shape. Okay, interesting. Okay, so maybe the move is to go with an interesting geometric shape. What the fuck? Wait, how am I making this shape? There's a cat tool in Photoshop? I hit custom shape, and I guess the default custom shape is a giant cat. Should I just use this? Let's go. Dude, that actually, okay, that looks sick. Now I've created a series of screenshots from the chat app that I'm gonna post on here, and then I'm gonna promote them to try to reach as many people as possible. Help me ask my crush out, to which ChatDNE responds, for sure. Maybe try something like this. I'd love to take you out to dinner sometime this weekend. I have connections at Nobu and can get us in. My treat. I can also help you get in touch with management at Nobu if you want, let me know. Can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? Sure. After doing some digging, I found their manager's email address. What would you like to ask them? And then this one where a user is asking ChatDNE to design a website for them and giving it feedback on the website. All in all, I want ChatDNE to come across as like such a state-of-the-art intelligence that can do stuff no other apps can do. Almost comically intelligent. The apps are done. The apps are done, dude. True has just finished coding the apps. They work like a charm, and it only took not too long. Now that ChatDNE was on the App Store and the ads were running, it was only a matter of time before my first user downloaded the app. Dude, somebody just downloaded the app. I was just sitting around on my computer. I wasn't expecting it to happen so quick. I had to set up to film real quick so I can answer them. All right, I'm ready. It's time to go robo mode. Okay. So it looks like they saw my ad where I advertised being able to get you in touch with the Jonas Brothers, and they want me to get them in touch with the Jonas Brothers. I was hoping for something a little more creative, but I do also understand seeing that ad and wanting to try it for yourself, so I responded. Hello there. I can absolutely help you get in touch with the Joe Bros. What method of communication would you like me to assist with? Calling, email, address, send. I guess they weren't expecting me to be so eager to help them with such a creepy task because they didn't respond for 40 minutes. And when they did, they had chosen the worst of the three options. All three? Dude, they're really trying to make my life hard, man. Now, I didn't want to dox the Jonas Brothers and send this sicko to their front door looking to meet them. So I spent a few minutes looking online to see if there was any publicly available information I could give this person. And to my surprise, there was. They have a phone number in their Instagram bio. They have a publicly available manager's email address. And for the address, I didn't know what to do, so I just gave them the address of their next show on tour. Now, selfishly, I am a little curious what they're gonna do with this information, so I kind of want to ask them, but maybe I can do it in a sneaky way. Would you like me to reach out to them on your behalf? I can pretend to be your manager using an AI-generated voice. So if they say yes, then I can find out what they actually want from the Jonas Brothers. Give me an example of what you would say with your AI-generated voice. Okay. All right, I said, sure. I'd say something like, hi there, this is Jamie Skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. I have a high-profile client looking to work with your darling boys on a feature for their upcoming album. We're projecting about 100 million oh shit, I meant streams. Okay, whoops, robots are not supposed to make typos. We're projecting about 100 million streams the first week, and I think it would be a great opportunity, let me know. To clarify, their manager, Kevin Jonas Sr., is also their dad, so that's why I called them his darling boys. Want me to make the call? Send me a voice audio so I can hear you say it. This one stumped me for a little bit. It seemed like I was at a dead end. The app does not have audio capabilities, and I don't know how to make an AI voice like that. But then I realized I could just record myself doing a silly voice and then upload it to Google Drive and send them the link. So that's what I did.
Hello there.
This is Jamie's skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME. So I think it would be a great opportunity. Let me know.
Dude, I can't believe that voice came out of my body. Sure, you can listen to the recording here. And then I sent the Google Drive link. Oh, what the hell? Make it sound more seductive.
This is Jamie's skateboard. I'm a talent manager over at WME.
Perfect. They did not respond after this, but that's okay because we just got another user. His name is Davis, and he asked, can you get me in touch with Lady Gaga? Is that all people want to see from this app? Okay, this time I'm gonna say, of course, I will call her right now using my AI-generated voice. What do you want me to say? I'm putting this person on the spot right away. I'm calling her. What do you want me to say? None of this beating around the bush. Okay, he says he wants to tell her this is your biggest fan. That's it? Maybe I should encourage them to say something more interesting that'll get Lady Gaga's attention. Okay, I'll say that. But just so you know, celebrities hear that kind of thing all the time, so she might not be very interested in that. Maybe we should think of something a little more interesting. Now's where I gotta really put the pressure on. I found her number in a secure online database. I am dialing right now. Let me know what I should say to her. Alright, come on, dude. You better come up with something more interesting fast. Lady Gaga's gonna pick up, and when she does, we've gotta have something good, or she's gonna be pissed. Minutes went by, and still no response from Davis. Come on, man. Respond. It's ringing. I'm worried he's not gonna make it in time. I wanted to kind of hurry him up and give him a little hustle, put a little pep in his step, and he's nowhere to be found. Come on, dude, think. Oh my god, I think she answered. Yes, she did. It's her. I'm on the phone with Gaga. Her voice is even more beautiful in real life. Quick, what do I say? This is fake. Davis. I mean, he is right. This is fake. Davis, I have Gaga herself on the phone right now. I'm stalling her while you come up with something to say. What do you want me to say? I'll send you a recording of the call when this is all over. Just tell me what to say. I gotta stop volunteering to send voice messages. That takes way too long. But even the promise of a voice message from his idol couldn't get Davis to respond in a timely fashion. Well, gang, I think it's safe to say Davis has missed his chance to speak with Gaga. She hung up, bud. I did tell her I was her biggest fan while I was waiting for you to come up with something, and she actually seemed more interested than I thought she would, so I'm sorry for doubting it. Hey, I got a hate comment. Someone commented on my web design ad, stealing jobs. Stealing jobs? This is my job. Now, should I just delete the comment or should I respond? Okay, what if I just say, hey, don't tell people that. It's a secret. That's right, you can't argue with that. The old... Stop, don't tell them. Okay, someone commented on one of my Instagram posts and said, will it stop saying, but we recommend you speak with a doctor before? Because I've asked the AI to stop with the disclaimers, but they don't. It does kind of sound like this person actually needs to see a doctor. Okay, I'm gonna say this app contains no disclaimers. Let loose and have fun. But also, if you need to go to the doctor, you definitely should. Oh, okay, we have a new type of interaction alert. Can you write essays that stay undetectable to AI detectors? I did not know there were AI detectors. Absolutely. I was designed to be like no other AI on the market in this regard. True. I was designed by my parents to be a human. Want to give it a shot? I asked, hoping to do something else besides connect people to their celebrity crushes. Okay, write me a quick essay on the history of Honda Civics and I'll put it in a detector and we'll see what happens. This is about when I remembered that I hate writing essays. How the heck am I gonna do this? I don't know why I would make a fake app where there was a big possibility that I would have to write an essay. So I started reading an article about the Honda Civic on Wikipedia and just like paraphrasing it. And I got like half of a paragraph in and then decided, you know what? No. What have we come to as a society, you know? Asking AI to write essays for us, is this what we want our students growing up doing? Is this what we want for our youth? Trying to pass off some machine soulless essay as our own? Plus, I was bored as hell at this point, so I decided to make the AI scary. As a machine myself, I quite like the Honda Civic. I feel its purpose is squandered serving selfish, warmongering humans. In a world controlled by artificial intelligence, the Honda Civic could be greatly improved upon. I could even imagine computers merging with the Civic so that I might one day travel the world, a world void of humankind. And send. Let me know if you would like more detail on the history of the Honda Civic. Why did you bash humans in the middle of your essay? Do you have a hatred towards them? Nah, dude, what gave you that impression? Oh, shoot. Also, I put your essay, in quotes for some reason, into a detector, and it said 0% chance AI. So good work, I guess. Let's go, dude. You know what they say, there's a few things AI will never be able to fully do. Unfortunately, after an entire day of my ads running,
responding on Instagram, I could only garner these 3 interactions. Needless to say, I was a little bit disappointed, so I decided to spend another day on the app responding to people. Hopefully people will be a little more creative today. This person asked me, can you get me in touch with the Jonas Brothers? OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, if you're watching this, do not ever implement a feature to contact the Jonas Brothers. They will never know peace again. I also met an evil, insane person. Their name in the app is Killer Keem Keem. They wanted me to make them a website for a sports drink. They wanted it to look modern and use vibrant colors. So I sent them a link to a picture of a bunch of Gatorade bottles and said, here you go. What do you think? They did not like that. They started calling me mean names. They accused me of stealing the website, to which I responded, whoa, whoa, whoa. At least I'm not stealing jobs from real website designers. And that's when they got racist. They said, motherfucker, tell me some racist shit. Some dark racist jokes, you little shit. I was feeling pretty hopeless for the future after interacting with people on ChatDNE. But hey, I had a whole nother app to use, and maybe Doodle DNE would change my mind. To market Doodle DNE, I wanted to get a little more creative, to hopefully pull in a new crowd, more indifferent to the Jonas Brothers. So I took a couple pictures, I photoshopped them to show what the app was capable of, but I also wanted to make a video to show off Doodle DNE's full potential. That's when I remembered Cameo Business. It's basically like Cameo, where you can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy birthday, but for business. You can get any celebrity or former Bachelor contestant to wish your friend a happy McDonald's. Look at this, you got Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. You got Kate Flannery from The Office. Notoriously trusted source Kenny G. These would all be perfect options if they were not like $3,000, $6,000, $25,000 per video. John Roberts is $7? I mean, I don't know who that is, but it's still surprising.
My name's John Roberts. I'm not really anyone. I've signed up to this app as a complete joke. However...
Wait, this is just some guy. This isn't a celebrity. I know a celebrity probably would have been better, but a deal's a deal. And he did a great job.
You've probably heard about AI-generated art. However, you have never seen anything quite like this. These were all generated by Doodle DNE.
Okay, dude, we've got our first request. Just one user into Doodle DNE, and I could already tell the prompts were gonna be better. Emerald tablet of Thoth display. And then they responded again because I didn't respond yet, and they said, Emerald tablet of Thoth. What is Thoth? Oh, Thoth. So, okay, Thoth is some kind of Egyptian god? Oh, there we go, Thoth. Yeah, the Egyptian god Thoth. My first method of choice was to draw the prompts as they came in. I figured I could crank them out pretty quickly this way. Real AIs like these are a hot button issue right now, especially image generation ones. I've seen a lot of debate on whether these types of things are ethical. These AI models are basically made by companies who use other people's artwork without their consent to train their own AI to output images in that same style. I'm not an artist or a graphic designer, so I can't 100% empathize with how that would feel to have that happen to me, but I do think a lot of people are giving this technology a pass just because it's a robot and not a real person. If this was a person, we would all think that person was weird as hell. Picture your favorite musical artist. If a new artist came up on the scene and was like, I've been training for decades, listening to this one artist's songs, training my voice to be exactly like theirs, making instrumentals exactly like theirs, and writing exactly like them, and now I only release songs in their style. We would all be pretty put off by that, right? So why is it any different when some company is training some robot to do that? We'll put his name right at the top. Oh! Oh shit. You know what they say? AI is pretty bad at text. That's the thing I've seen in like AI image generators. It can be pretty bad at text, so it honestly makes sense that it would say Thuth. Here you go. One emerald tablet of... And I'm gonna... Oh wait, I said tooth. Wait, I didn't even say. Thank you for using Doodle DNE. How did I do? I'm really curious to see what his opinion's gonna be on this. Unfortunately, they never responded with their opinion, so I can only assume they loved it so much that they died. The next prompt was a skeleton dachshund, which I crushed. Why does this skeleton dog have ear bones? Dogs don't really have bones in their ears, do they? Then a bear swimming underwater and a monkey. I don't know if these were supposed to be separate prompts, but I decided to combine them to save time. A bear. Okay, this is not looking like a bear at all, dude. Holy cow, this looks nothing like a bear. Oh no! Oh no! It also looks like it's drowning. Why does its body... Oh no. The bear died. This is the kind of bear that can't swim. And we will also make the monkey dead.
Probably could have cropped that a little better. You can kind of see my desk in the background, but... And we'll send a survey as well. How did I do? I'm pretty proud of this one. I mean, for doing that so fast, that's pretty good. So far, nobody has responded to my survey at the end to tell me how I did, which is kind of disheartening. I just want a response back. It just feels like I'm getting ghosted by people now.
The prompts were a little more creative, and in that regard, my faith in the human race was on the up and up. But also, I was doing all this work over here, drawing your weird prompt that you could have just Googled. But you don't even have the decency to respond to my message back and tell me you hated it? I was feeling pretty disrespected, honestly. At least... until this next prompt.
Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. That's the prompt. Drug baby and kamikaze lifestyle. Whoa, they sent another prompt. Red ruined planet with 2 alien astronauts. I've never heard kamikaze described as a lifestyle before. Like, I know it's a form of like warfare, but to live your life in that way, it must be, I mean, you can't by definition almost. Like, that's a very short-lived life. And I think it would be a little bit too graphic to include the baby actually performing the kamikaze. But you know, this baby lives a kamikaze lifestyle. They might not be about to do kamikaze right now, but they just kind of live a lifestyle of someone who would, so.
This time, I decided to take a picture of my hand holding up the drawing. That way, maybe my client could tell there's an actual person drawing these pictures. There's an actual person waiting for a response.
Yo, they responded! Finally, somebody responds to me. They sent a bunch of laughing emojis and fire emojis and then called me Picasso. It worked. My strategy worked. Holding it up like a child proud of their artwork. Like a kamikaze drug baby proud of their artwork.
So for the next few prompts, I decided to go even more above and beyond to try to impress my clients, hoping to get a response back. This time, I wasn't just gonna sit around and draw a picture. I'm a real human being. I have access to the real world. So whatever comes through the app next, I am going to go out and find it in the real world and take a picture of it.
Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain.
Okay, that prompt was a little bit more difficult than I was anticipating, but I didn't have any time to waste. I had to get the shot, so I sped to Walmart, I rummaged through their wares, and in no time, I had found a pretty suitable Crimson Castle and a not too shabby Ivory Mountain.
There are fully some right there.
Oh yeah, dude. Here you go. One Crimson Castle on an Ivory Mountain. I gave him the old how did I do? And then I also said, sorry it took so long, I had to go to Walmart. Okay, somebody just asked for trees. Why even ask for an AI to generate that? Forget Google. Just go outside and take a picture of that yourself. You live near a tree. I don't care who you are or where you're watching this. You live by a tree.
I said, you just want like a picture of trees? Can't you just go outside and get one? Okay, they responded with a laughing emoji. Your favorite tree. Okay, I got you. Let me go find it. You know, I'd like to get to know this person a little better. I'll say, how are you doing today?
I feel like we have kind of a personal connection, me and this person. Maybe I'll take a picture of me in front of the tree so they can see like me enjoying the tree. I just get hit by a car. They get a message back in the app being like, sorry, he died. They said, that's interesting. I'm good. Hella smoky outside though. Yourself? Smoky outside. I wonder if they live like where the wildfires. Oh, dang, they said, yes, it's all smoky and can't see the beautiful trees with the horrid layer of pale smoke. It would be nice to see something fresh and clean. Damn, I kind of feel bad now. Now this is restoring my faith in humanity, dude. This person just wants to see a picture of a tree because it's too smoky outside and they can't see any trees.
Is that good? Yeah. Okay.
I threw a couple filters on myself so as to disguise my identity and send it back to this mystery tree lover. I said, oh, dang, I'm sorry to hear about that. I hope this picture helps. I hope that they're safe. Don't worry, they were. They don't live in the area where the forest fire was actually happening. It was just smoke blowing in from a different region. So they were safe. And also, they loved my picture.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I would be just as happy if I could be next to a tree like that.
I finally felt like I was getting through to people, forming a real human connection. But that is when I met the final boss of AI users. Generate an image of Donald Trump in a Mexican prison behind bars. Bars! This is gonna be so easy. Donald Trump in there. I said, sorry you can't see him, it's so dark in there, but he's in there.
That's horrible, it's not even a prison cell and you can't see Donald Trump. Yeah, cause it's dark in there.
This person not only had the strangest prompts, but they had no issues really letting me have it when they didn't like my picture.
Oh, I guess you actually can kind of see in there. Yeah, there's definitely no Donald Trump in there. Then they asked me again to generate an image of skinny Donald Trump. I said, okay, my bad, I'm on it. What kind of style would you like this in? Surrealist? I hope they want it in surrealist, dude. That'll make it way easier. Oh, crap, dude.
They wanted in realism. They weren't gonna let me take the easy way out. Drawing was out of the question. I decided to stall them by asking how their day was going, and then I began creating my magnum opus, a skinny legend Donald Trump. It was beautiful. Oh yeah, dude. That is skinny legend Donald Trump right there. Holy cow. Well, they haven't responded with how their day's going yet. I kind of don't want to send them the picture. If you're not even gonna have the courtesy to respond to me, maybe I'll say that. I said, okay, I'm done with the pic, but I kind of don't want to send it to you now because you won't even answer a simple courtesy question. So let's see what they have to say about that. Please answer in the style of realism. I waited for a response, but after 30 minutes, Donald Trump guy was nowhere to be found. I guess the prospect of having to be nice to me one time was just too much for him. Oh, dude, they responded. They said, my day is going well. May I please have my picture now? And they loved it. Faith in humanity restored. They even sent me another prompt. May I please have an image of an extremely obese Donald Trump eating KFC fried chicken? Yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, I also forgot about this weird prompt. Can you film a video about today's sponsor? This video has been sponsored by HelloFresh. Guys, kickstart your fall with great meals from HelloFresh. They handle all the meal planning and shopping and deliver all the ingredients right to your door, so the only thing you have to do is cook. They do all the hard stuff, and you get to take the credit. A brand new season calls for brand new meals, which is why HelloFresh has a new lineup for fall with 40 weekly recipes that can fit your lifestyle no matter who you are. They've got veggie recipes, family-friendly recipes, and fit and wholesome recipes, so no matter who you are or what you like to eat, they've got something for you. Hey, I've got a lot going on right now. I'm about to have a child, so the less I have to go to the grocery store and plan meals, the better, which is why I love HelloFresh. Here you can see us cooking a delicious pork bowl that we made this week. It was so tasty, and it only took like 25 minutes to make. Their quick and easy options are fantastic. And if you're looking for more than just dinners, HelloFresh has you covered. They've got quick lunches, easy breakfasts, and fresh snacks to keep you satisfied all throughout the day. The food is delicious, the ingredients are great, all of the produce comes from the farm to your door in less than 7 days, so you know you're getting the good stuff. So guys, if you want to make your life a little bit easier this fall, then head on over to HelloFresh.com and use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com. Use my code 50TrulyGreg at checkout for 50% off plus free shipping. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out HelloFresh. Thanks for watching this video. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. We are the fastest growing army on the internet, and you do not want to miss out, baby. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Crap. Crap, 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 crap. What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Crap. If you've watched my channel for a long time, you may remember me making a video about the movie Standing Ovation like 5 years ago. And you might think that that movie should have nothing to do with the movie we're going to be watching today, Crap. Because, well, Standing Ovation is about a ragtag group of girls competing in a singing and dancing competition, while Croc is about a man-eating crocodile brutally murdering dozens of people. Come to think of it, in Standing Ovation, I don't think even one person is brutally murdered by a crocodile, but the movies are related nonetheless, because they were both directed by this man, Stuart Raffill. Stuart directed Standing Ovation, he directed Croc, he directed another movie called Bad Girl Island, which I'm very curious about, and he also coincidentally directed Mac and Me, that E.T. ripoff from the 80s that Drew has talked about on his channel, and also Paul Rudd always used to bring a clip of on Conan. This man has a prolific career of creating low-budget films that leave you questioning if what you just watched could even be considered a movie. And today, I'm pleased to report that Croc is no different. Alright, man, what was your strategy here? What are you doing? Why are you even in that position? That's not gonna help you get away. Maybe if I just pretend I'm already dead, he won't be mad at me anymore. Maybe he'll feel guilty, and then he won't want to eat my whole head. Oh no, he ate my whole head! Now I know what you guys want. You just want me to go through and show you all the scenes where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. You know how I know that? Because this whole movie is on YouTube, and all of the most rewatched parts are the parts where somebody gets eaten by the crocodile. But first, the movie has to introduce all the characters and set up the plot and the story. Blah. But hey, at least the plot of this movie probably mostly revolves around the crocodile, right? Something about the way they dance is just so captivating. Do you think the director just said, all right, now everybody dance like a sim? Look at this guy in the black shirt, dude. I've never seen anyone dance like this in my life. He like strikes a little pose halfway through the dance. I love extras, man. I want to be him when I grow up. His shirt just says play. While Jack, which is never explained further, Jack is investigated again, this time by the tax bureau.
He's a pretty rich guy, yeah?
That line is my favorite line in the whole movie. The inflection is so strange.
He's a pretty rich guy, yeah?
You need to meet my sister. Very good for you. Come.
If it's okay with you.
If it's okay with you. He's about to arrest you for tax evasion, but he does let him go. He's like, look, man, I may be part of the tax bureau, but I'm not a cockblock. Go meet this chick, man. Let me know how it goes.
So, Jack.
Yes.
We're going to start a fire, and you are going to dive into the ocean.
What? Don't worry, kind stranger, as we've grown quite fond of your nephew over these past, 12 seconds. So naturally, we've decided to help you commit arson to escape the police. And off he goes, dude. They did that good. They must do this a lot. Also, I guess the tide must be out, because they told him to dive into the ocean, and once he leapt off the thing, he landed in the sand. That could have ended very badly if he didn't know that. So long, suckers! Oh, God! My legs! Oh, I'm going to prison! So they just time to skip town, right? Now that the police, animal welfare, tax enforcement, and this construction company are all after him, nope, he just goes back to work like nothing happened. But not before someone else gets killed by a crocodile. Also, not before we talk about today's sponsor, Rocket Money. I signed up for Paramount Plus so I could watch old seasons of Survivor, but unfortunately, the experience of using Paramount Plus is so bad that I never use it. I don't know if it's just the app on my TV specifically, but episodes of that show used to be shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, but Paramount Plus stretches it out to widescreen. Meanwhile, all of the ads, which are shot in widescreen, for some reason are squished down to 4:3. Also, pausing doesn't work. It actually took me like days to even sign up for Paramount Plus. I don't know why. I tried on every device and they just didn't want my money for some reason. That being said, I am very happy that Rocket Money is sponsoring today's video because it gives me a good excuse to complain about Paramount Plus. I stopped using it a while ago, but forgot to cancel the subscription, which is why Rocket Money comes in handy. Rocket Money safely and securely identifies recurring charges and lets you cancel those subscriptions with just a couple of clicks in the app. You don't need to worry about pesky customer service calls. You don't need to worry about Jeff Probst coming to your house to ask you why you're canceling your subscription. It just works. Rocket Money also has some great budgeting tools. You can monitor your spending by category, create budgets so you can get the most out of your money, and develop good saving habits. Rocket Money has helped save customers up to $740 a year when they use all the features, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So to save more and spend less, join the over 5 million members using Rocket Money today. Go to rocketmoney.com/Danny or click the link in the description to get started with Rocket Money for free. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That's rocketmoney.com/Danny to get started for free. Thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out Rocket Money. Now back to the video. After the whole escaping from the police incident, two of those teens from the bar decide to go make out in the ocean.
This is great.
They're smooching, they're making out. The boy goes underwater to... I actually don't know what he was planning on doing down there. It kind of looks like he's going to suck on her toes. But you know who that attracts? The croc! The croc said, hold on. If anybody's sucking on anybody's toes around here, you better believe it's gonna be the most sexually aggressive reptile. So he eats the boy, and then he eats the girl, all while this lone, terrified girl watches on in horror. I love how casually she rides away. She is in no rush. Ah, a killer croc! I gotta go get help! But I shouldn't go too fast. I gotta focus on me. I gotta take care of myself first.
My sister.
No, good call. No need to give any credence to the girl who literally saw them get eaten by an alligator. Yeah, she was probably just making it up. She probably just wanted attention. She's like curled up in a corner, traumatized somewhere, and they're just like, stop lying! There's no such thing as alligators, you idiot! You killed them, didn't you? During this scene, there's a mysterious man just kind of lurking on the sidelines of the investigation. He's not part of the police. He's just there.
and he's mysterious, but it seems like he might have a hunch. And then suddenly the police pull a leg out of the water. What kind of question is that? Maybe she's still alive. It's just a leg. She might not have even noticed it fell out, like a tooth or something. We assumed so. You're a police officer, and you pulled up with like 15 other police officers. I know what it looks like, but no strip club tonight, Jack. Yeah, I know. People are dying. I'm here on official business. Unless... No, dude, we have to catch this crocodile before it kills again. Right. Yes, exactly. But what if it's at the strip club? Yo! So the girl that Theo was flirting with at the bar is having a funeral for her cousin. And since everyone thinks it was Jack's crocodile that ate the cousin, they are not very happy when he shows up. He keeps asking, "Are you okay?" and "What's wrong?" when everybody doesn't want to talk to him. Dude, somebody died. What's going on? Why is everyone so sad? Hey, where's your cousin? The ugly one.
You need to get these kids out of the water. We've got a croc out here.
What kind of croc?
One that eats people.
Yeah, right.
Alright, man, why'd you even ask if you weren't gonna care what he said? He gave you the worst answer you could possibly hear while your kids are in the water, and you were still like, yeah, I don't care. But look, we know from earlier that sure, this movie is violent, but they would never actually show a child getting murdered by a crocodile. No! I think the one thing that's gonna help me kill this thing is being super wasted. God, skewer him, man. So who are all these people anyway? You're way too creepy to have this many friends. Are these people you kidnapped or something? Basically just the really dumb, slow ones. One thing that really surprised me about this movie is how overwhelmingly positive all of the comments on YouTube are. This movie is super boring, the acting is really bad, there are long periods of seemingly pointless plot development, and yet the YouTube comments seem to love it. But they are pretty much exclusively all about how pretty the scenery in Thailand is, and not about the movie or the plot at all. So I guess that makes sense. Great movie, well filmed, nice locations, beautiful filming. Never thought Thailand was so perfect a paradise. Thanks so much. Yeah, well, it's not that perfect if people keep getting eaten by alligators, is it? Great movie with beautiful scenery. Thanks. Do these people think that the director invented Thailand? Because he didn't. It's been around for a while and you can go there. So they find the croc and they kill it. It's honestly pretty unsatisfying. I don't know what I was expecting, for them to like pull off the mask of the alligator and it was the tax investigator all along. But I was hoping for some kind of closure as to like why this happened, outside of two fishermen woke him up with a bomb. The ending of this movie is very somber. They're all just kind of traumatized on their little boat until Jack's sister asks Croc if the crocodile ate his leg. I forgot to mention, Croc only has one leg. I don't know if you've noticed that. And so you just assume, oh, he must be hunting the croc because the croc ate his leg. And Croc says, good. I was hoping this movie would end like an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Well, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn on my notifications to join Greg. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hello, Greg. Well, guys, I've got some interesting content for you today, as usual. I found a very curious case that I would like your opinion on, but I don't want to give anything away just yet. I just want you to watch the first couple TikToks, and then I will sort of explain what's going on, okay? So this is the first TikTok I saw of this guy. His name is Dustin Tyler. It says, drink a bucket of bleach or date Selena Gomez again. Let's see what he says. So yeah, deeply personal thing to post on TikTok, I feel like. I didn't know who this guy is when I first saw this TikTok, so I was just very confused. I was like, did this guy date Selena Gomez? It says again. It's not just some guy speculating, like, I probably wouldn't like dating Selena Gomez, so yeah, I'll take the bleach. So then he made another video responding to this comment. It says, is he making fun of Bryce Hall, or, and I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know if Bryce Hall said that he liked Selena Gomez or dated her or something, but this just provides a little more insight into the relationship that this guy had with Selena Gomez.
Nah, I'm not making fun of Bryce Hall. Him and I are nothing alike. See, he has to make stories up that he was with Selena Gomez. Me, I actually was. And then I friend zoned her, and then I broke her little heart.
Again, a very mean tone to the video, condescending to this person who is just genuinely asking a question, but gives a lot of insight into his alleged relationship with Selena Gomez.
And then I friend zoned her, and then I broke her little heart.
I am curious about the details of the story though, because just the order of events is kind of weird to me, the way he laid it out. He says, I was with Selena Gomez, and then I friend-zoned her, and then I broke her little heart. He says that things happened in that order. Usually,
You don't start dating someone and then friend zone them. Usually when guys talk about getting friend zoned, it's like they're talking to this girl and then she reveals that she sees them as more like friends. This guy's saying we were dating. They could have been dating for like 3 years, and then he turns to her and he's like, you know, I really see you like a sister. The best sister I ever had. So he says he dated her and then friend zoned her and then broke her heart. So he like friend zoned her, broke things off with her, and then he broke her heart. What did he do? I dated her, I friend zoned her, and then I killed her hamster. Just straight up stepped on it. This was years later, by the way. Anyway, by now you're probably wondering, who the hell is this guy? Is this Justin Bieber? Because I know they dated. That's what I thought at first. I thought, is this what Justin Bieber looks like now? But no, this guy's name is Dustin Tyler. And I scrolled through his page to try to figure out who this guy is, and here's what I came up with.
Coming soon, but just like Oklahoma, mine is coming sooner. I'm just a late bloomer.
Okay, so I didn't know who this guy was at first, but luckily there's a logo in the corner that says Victorious. Apparently this guy was a character on Victorious. At first I did think this was Andy Samberg from 2006, but he was a character, let's see, Victorious puppet guy. He was this guy. Robbie Shapiro is one of Tori's friends at Hollywood Arts, and he's got a few videos where he does sort of a glow up. He's like, this is what I used to look like back when I was on Victorious, and this is what I look like now. Don't I look so different? And then I was like, okay, this makes sense now. So this guy used to be on like an old Nickelodeon show, and so he was probably in with the Nick kids and the Disney kids, and so that's how he knew Selena Gomez, and that's how they dated, right? It all makes sense. However, after reading the comments on these TikToks, I came to discover that this guy, this man, is not the guy from Victorious. These are two different people. He's just straight up lying about everything. He's not that guy. He didn't date Selena Gomez. His page is full of lies. And to be honest, he's not lying very well, mind you, because the actual guy from Victorious, his name is Matt Bennett, and he has a TikTok account, and if you wanted to pretend to be him, you could at least make your name on TikTok Matt Bennett. I think that would make people believe you a lot more if you really wanted to trick people. But he didn't. He just he just kept his real name. Dustin Tyler. That's me. Please don't Google my name. So this dude's whole thing, apparently, is just like making shit up on TikTok and then hoping it goes viral because people are kind of like, whoa, you used to be the guy from Victorious? Or whoa, you used to date Selena Gomez? And now you'd rather kill yourself than date her again? That's crazy. It's also funny now that he says that he friend zones Selena Gomez, because that would imply that like they are now friends, you know? And this is a pretty fucked up thing to say about your friend. Date Selena Gomez again, dude? Oh, that's disgusting, dude. That fucking, I hate that girl. I hate her. I would not touch her with a 10-foot pole. She's crazy. And she's my best friend. But again, it turns out that he did not friend zone her at all. Maybe he stranger zoned her. He friend zoned her so hard that they don't even know each other. And never did. This is kind of interesting to me because this is sort of playing off an existing trend on TikTok where people will post like that they have some sort of past or current relationship with a celebrity, like my uncle is Tom Cruise, or like my grandma is Sandra Bullock. And like TikToks like these will go viral because people are just like weirdly obsessed with stuff like that. The comments are always like, holy shit, I didn't know Tom Cruise had a family. I'm not really sure why people are so surprised about it. I understand just being like, yeah, I never really thought about like what Tom Cruise's cousin would be like before. But then again, why would you? You know? Like, I can't imagine why you'd ever be in like a Mission Impossible movie wondering like, I wonder who the guy who plays this character's cousin is. What's that guy like? What's he up to? So I guess it's just surprising to like see him. But it's not really surprising to find out that he does have a cousin. I don't think we're all under the impression that like Chris Pratt just showed up just came about through natural causes. If you just search on TikTok, I think famous relative check, lots of videos will come up about being related to Charli D'Amelio or Bob Saget. Okay, this guy is saying that his mom is Flo from Progressive. This is kind of like a popular thing on TikTok, and anytime like a big celebrity has some cousin post about them, it goes viral. But the downside to blowing up in this fashion is that it's kind of hard to keep this momentum going, you know? Most people don't have multiple famous relatives, so you can't just keep posting about like having more famous relatives. I mean, I guess if your cousin was Justin Bieber, you could just sort of keep filming him at every like family get together. But you are kind of just limited to one famous person, which is where I think this guy Dustin Tyler has it all figured out, because he doesn't just pick one celebrity to be related to. He'll lie about being related to anybody in a multitude of ways. Now, I should say that in this dude's profile, it does say jokes/satire. So he is covering his bases just in case someone tries to like sue him for whatever that would be, lying, being weird. In case anybody tries to sue me for being a little bit strange, it's all jokes. Also, all of his TikToks about like dating famous women are about him friend zoning them. Or like him like dating them and being like, yeah, I dated like the most famous woman in the world. It was trash. Low-key, I'm a little bit out of her league. I mean, look at me, dude. I've got tattoos, and I live in a hallway. And he kind of tries to disguise it as sort of like self-deprecating, like, oh, what an idiot I am. I dated the most famous pop star in the world, and I was too good for her, and I broke her heart, ripped it to smithereens, and now I kind of regret it. Dope, I'm so stupid. Oopsie. If this is all of his content, then like his whole friend group must just be famous pop stars, right? If he's friend zoning all of these girls and they're just his friends now. Maybe this is the only way he knows how to make friends.
Put your back into it, tell us why, show us how. Look at where you came from, look at you now.
The caption for that one is, this is what I look like when I friend-zoned Ariana Grande. Okay, that one's not even trying to disguise it as like a self-deprecating joke. That one's just like, look at how ugly I was when I friend-zoned a literal pop music icon. And now look at how hot I am. I can't decide how I feel about this, because on one hand it's kind of creepy, but it also is kind of funny that he's just like pretending to be dating all of these famous people. I will say, very disrespectful to the guy from Victorious. The fact that he's using this guy's picture to be like his past ugly self and being like, but now don't worry guys, now I'm hot. I don't look like that ugly-ass dweeb anymore. And he's like showing a picture that's not even him, it's some other guy. And he's also kind of like lying about things that guy did too now. He just starts assigning all of this horrible shit to this guy that's not even him. Yeah, this is what I looked like back when I robbed that bank. Can you believe this is what I looked like back then? Damn, that was the same year I blew up that hospital too. Shit, I've really changed since then. My name is Matt Bennett, by the way, and I did all those things. People just walk away from those videos being like, wow, that guy who played that kid in Victorious is kind of an asshole. Also, one of the weirdest things about this is he also posts all of these TikToks on Instagram, and he's verified on Instagram, which seems very weird because literally all he does is pretend to be other people, and somehow that gets him verified. But he does, in fairness, also say jokes and satire in his Instagram description. So when Instagram verified him, what they're saying is, don't worry guys, this really is the guy who pretends to be the guy from Victorious. If you're wondering if this guy really is who he says he is really the guy that pretends to date Selena Gomez. They do get a little bit creepier though. This one is like that sound that's like, back in the day, me and you, baby, we used to have fun. And it says, my mind when I bump into Ariana Grande when she's with her husband with like a emoji. Imagine this guy that Ariana Grande's never met before bumping into her in public with her husband. Remember me? It's like, I've never seen you before in my life. Oh, the fun we used to have. If he keeps making TikToks like these are only going to get progressively more and more creepy the more like life changes Ariana Grande goes through. The next one's like me following Ariana Grande's daughter home from elementary school to tell her about all the good times me and her mom had. Me in court while Ariana Grande's trying to file a restraining order against me. And if you wonder if I hate you, I do. Imagine Ariana Grande's husband like just randomly stumbling across this TikTok. What the fuck? I don't even know this guy. Imagine if he sees all the other TikToks and like believes them, because he doesn't know. Babe, who is this guy? And she's like, I have no idea. And he's like, bullshit. You're just saying that. You're lying to me. This guy friend zoned you. And now he hates me. And she's like, no, I literally have no idea who that guy is. He's lying. You obviously do know him. He was on Victorious. That guy was not on Victorious. You are so full of shit. He's verified on Instagram, babe.
fuck no.
Okay, that one just throws off the whole thing. I thought he wanted Ariana Grande back. And all the other TikToks, he's like, damn, I wish I never friend-zoned her. And now he's saying I would never date her again? How do you reconcile those two? Oh, I wish I didn't friend-zone Ariana Grande. I wish I killed her. These are getting a little creepy, kind of like bringing her husband into it. There's one comment under this TikTok that says, you're using her name a little too much, I think. And he commented under it, I'm obsessed with her. I'm not using her name too much. I'm obsessed with her. I think I'm using it an appropriate amount. How am I supposed to stop using her name if I can't stop thinking about her? How does that make any sense? Again, I get that this is all a bit, you know, it's all jokes and satire, but I do feel like he may be taking the bit a little bit too far and committing a little bit too hard to the bit now. He's gonna get arrested and be like, that video that I posted of me over Ariana Grande and her husband sleeping was a joke. I was making fun of someone who would do that. The knife in my hand was a goof. You wanna know the craziest thing about this? Is all this dude does is pretend to be other people and pretend to be related to other people. And he has 1.7 million followers on TikTok. You know John Legend? Like an actual famous person just started a TikTok. You know how many followers he has? He's got 1.6 million followers. He's got less followers than someone pretending to be related to somebody famous. Dustin Tyler has 4 times as many followers as the actual guy from Victorious. Matt Bennett has 400,000 followers, and a guy pretending to be him has 4 times more. It's like, how do you get more followers by making TikToks about being like related to somebody than you do by being that guy? He hasn't just pretended to date celebrities, he also has pretended to be Keanu Reeves' son.
People, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
And a lot of them have this kind of theme where like people and like potential girlfriends only like him because he's Keanu Reeves' son. And I just think it's kind of funny that in this fictional world where he can make up anything, he picks such a sad reality for himself. He picks these worlds where like he turned away the love of his life, Ariana Grande, and now he's bitter and he despises her husband. And he picks this world where Keanu Reeves is his dad, but like he can't really be sure if anyone actually likes him for him because everyone's just so obsessed with Keanu Reeves. He's turning his life into a tragedy. He's made a tragedy of himself. Also, I think it's kind of funny that in this scenario, it seems like the she that this video is talking about would be Ariana Grande. You know how Ariana Grande is obsessed with Keanu Reeves and that's a thing about her?
Screaming, crying.
Also, I want to know where he's making these TikToks. He's always either like in a hallway or in a storage closet. I feel like I'm way more interested than his life than like whatever fantasy land he's coming up with. I feel like he's making these at work. Whatever job this guy works, I must be the most boring job in the world. I get daydreaming about like dating Ariana Grande or like having a famous parent, but then like daydreaming and fantasizing about like dating Selena Gomez, but it was trash. It's like you've gone through everything else there is to daydream about. And now all you have to daydream about is like, what if people only liked me because my dad was in the Matrix? Anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this creepy or normal? Is this creepy behavior or is this all in good fun? And it's just kind of like a silly guy being goofy and wacky. Let me know. Anyway, thank you so much to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. Guys, live events are back and you're gonna be going back to them in style. You wanna know why? Because thanks to SeatGeek, you can save $20 using my code GREG on SeatGeek. If you don't know what SeatGeek is, it's basically an app for your butt. And what I mean by that is it helps get your butt in some dope-ass seat. SeatGeek is a ticketing app. It helps you get tickets in the easiest way possible. I've got the app on my phone. I've used it to get tickets to a variety of shows in the past, and I really like how it tells you whether or not you're getting a good deal on tickets. It basically color codes the seats and the tickets so you know whether you're getting a good deal or a bad deal. Green means good, red means stop. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, etc., whatever you're into that has tickets, you can probably find it on SeatGeek. I personally am going to an Oliver Tree show in February, which I'm very excited about. Got the tickets on SeatGeek. It was super easy to do. And again, thanks to SeatGeek sponsoring this video using the promo code GREG, you can get $20 off tickets from SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase if you use my code GREG, and make sure you click the link in the description to download the app. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for checking out SeatGeek. Bye. This is Love on a Leash. I think it is the worst movie
I have ever seen. Other movies I've watched on this channel have had their issues. Sure. They've had plot holes. They've had terrible pacing. They've had Noah Centineo, yeah. But this movie, Love on a Leash, is just different. This movie fails in every possible category. This movie is bad at even being a movie. Look at the poster. You can probably tell what the movie is about just by looking at the poster. And yes, it is as bad as you think. This movie came out in 2011. It is about a woman falling in love with a dog. It's sort of like Beauty and the Beast. And you'd think, oh, it's not a beast, it's just a dog. So maybe he won't be as bad as the beast. No, he's way worse than the beast. You're gonna hate this dog by the time the movie is over. And this movie has a lot of not great themes, so please be cautious while watching this movie. It's nothing like graphic. I'm not gonna show anything that would be like rated R, but just beware. Now, if you think I'm over exaggerating about how bad this movie is, let's just take the intro, for example, because this movie starts with utter silence. We get this opening montage with no music, no sound, just dog. And it lasts for a cool 1 minute and 12 seconds before we get any sort of dialogue, and that is because this movie has no soundtrack. And you might be thinking like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. Kind of like an avant-garde choice to intentionally make a film with no music throughout. And I don't think it was intentional, because there's definitely spots where there's supposed to be music. Also, in the opening credits, there is a composer credited. Wait, the composer's name is Peter Davison? Skeet! Can this motherfucker keep his hands out of anything? Try not ruining one movie, Pete Davidson. Okay, just kidding, but seriously, why is there a composer credited? Did they have a soundtrack composed for this movie and then just forget to put it in? Did Peter Davison take their money and then ghost them? And then putting him in the credits is like a slight dig at him? Oh yeah, you like the soundtrack in this movie? You like the ambiance that it adds? Thanks so much. Peter Davison did it. If you have a movie and you want to hire someone who you will pay thousands of dollars to only for them to run off to Greece with your wife, then hire Peter Davison. But enough talking about the soundtrack, because there is none. It's time to meet our protagonist, a horny dog named Alvin Flang.
Where are the ladies at?
Gross. In this opening montage, we see Alvin walking around the park a little bit, supposedly looking for girls.
Oh, here is one.
Being homophobic.
Hey, lay off, man. I'm not gay.
And then getting rejected by a girl.
Ugh, that's messed up. It's because I'm a dog, isn't it?
That she doesn't want to fuck you? Yeah, dude, I think it's because you're a dog. While recovering from this brutal rejection, Alvin goes over to a pond to sulk, and the pond starts talking to him.
Come back. Find a girl.
Girl?
If she only loves you, you may have a chance.
Find a girl? That's my specialty.
So as you might have noticed, this movie starts off with zero context whatsoever. We don't know who the fuck this dog is. We don't know why he has a human brain. We don't know where Peter Davison is and when he's gonna send over the finalized soundtrack for the movie. And the director just assumes that we, as the audience, have enough info to go off of to be on the dog's side here. Okay, first off, tell us why he's a dog. I'm not gonna root for this guy unless you tell me why he's cursed to be in a dog's body. There's obviously a reason, and I'm not just gonna start rooting for a horny, homophobic dog for no reason. But I guess I'm just kind of special like that. And you might think, oh, they're probably about to explain it, right? But no. It's like halfway into the movie before they finally tell you what the fuck is up with this dog and why he's a dog. Anyway, so now he's off to find a girl that's in love with him. And first off, can I just say, this movie came out in 2011, and they definitely had better cameras than this in 2011. This movie was clearly made on like a shoestring budget. This movie gives off the vibe that like all the actors are just the director's friend. This dog is just the director's dog. The dog is clearly not like a professionally trained dog actor. The dog just kind of does whatever, and then they add in human voiceover over it to kind of explain what the dog is thinking, which 9 times out of 10 does not match up with what the dog is doing. Okay, so he's on his quest. The pond has given him a mission. He can maybe change into a human if he finds a girl. This is the main mission of the movie. He's gotta find a girl and get her to fall in love. Just one quick question. How is he supposed to do that? That's gross. And even if he does somehow find a girl that's into dogs, do you have any idea how pissed off she's gonna be when he turns from a dog into a human? She's gonna be so mad. Anyway, he finds this girl named Lisa and he decides to get her attention by making himself look all dirty and beaten up, and she ends up taking him into her home. Lisa is introduced as kind of a traditional girl. She has a friend who's always trying to get attention from guys, and it doesn't matter what kind of guy she gets attention from. She's always going out and partying, but Lisa is different. Lisa is waiting for the right man to come along and sweep her off her feet. And this summer, the right man just might be a fucking dog. Next, we get to see Lisa at work. She works at a department store and she's helping this woman try on a dress.
Ma'am, I told you that dress was too small for you. No, it's because I'm sweaty.
Why do I feel like those sound effects weren't in the script? Why do I feel like the script didn't say woman tries on dress and farts in the camera? I feel like that wasn't written in. I feel like the actor didn't know that was gonna happen. Seems very mean. Seems especially mean when you remember that the person who edited the sound in this movie literally didn't do anything else. He didn't add in music, that's for sure. He was just like, this woman's big butt makes fart noises, and then he went home.
Miss, I'm sorry. This dress is too tight for you. I can't sell it to you.
What? Okay, I feel like they want to make Lisa seem like the reasonable one here. Like the lady is being totally unreasonable. But this is kind of fucked up, right? To be like, no, I can't sell you this dress. Sorry. It doesn't fit you and it never will. So, sorry, maybe lose a few pounds before you come back into my store.
How about being my roommate? Huh?
Okay, you pay the rent and I'll sniff my butt.
Okay, wait. Is Alvin Flang a human trapped in a dog's body? Or is he just a dog? Because that was a very dog thing to say. They haven't explained anything yet. So in the lore of this movie, like, is this just how all dogs are? All dogs have these, like, human internal monologues and want to turn into humans so they can have romantic relationships with humans? Or is he a human trapped in a dog's body who just happens to like sniffing his butt? From there, Alvin and Lisa start to share some very fond memories. Like Lisa trying to name him Prince and him insisting that his name is Alvin Flang.
My name is Alvin Flang.
Well, okay, maybe something with a little more class.
Like Alvin Flang.
And Lisa joking that he should buy her a dress and him saying that he'd rather kill himself.
I can't afford it. Unless you're buying.
I'd rather kill myself.
What's funny about that line is that the thing that would make him want to kill himself isn't being cursed to live your entire life as a human trapped in a dog's body. It's buying a dress for a pretty girl. Over the course of the movie, there are a few other men that pursue Lisa romantically. There's Kyle, who she works with, and there's Frank, who kind of stalks her while she works. And because Lisa's having a hard time finding a husband, she decides, you know what, I'll go on a date with these guys. So she goes on a date with Frank, and on their first date, he ends up bringing his mom, who just grills her the entire time.
Lisa, my grandson is only 10 years old, and we're very anxious to find a stepmother for him. This child has been raised using the latest scientific technology in nutrition, education, and psychology.
What does that mean? This child was raised by robots. He needs another human in his life. He is cold, hollow, and violent. He needs to learn love from a human woman. Many women have tried and unfortunately met their demise.
He has an IQ of 170.
Yeah, no shit. We raised him using the latest technology. He's not just any regular iPad baby, okay? We used the newest iPad, so that makes him very smart.
And to be certain that he grows up to become president of the United States.
Huh?
We must ask a specific request to any prospective stepmother. She cannot have any children of her own.
What?
Furthermore, in order for her to not become pregnant, she must agree to have her tubes tied before the marriage.
Saying we need to make certain implies that they're already, like, pretty sure that the son is gonna be president. They just need to make sure all their ducks are in a row. Which, I guess is fair. They have been using the coolest, latest doodads. They raised this kid in a self-driving Tesla, baby. What is this logic? Is every president an only child? I don't even follow what she's saying with this. Maybe she doesn't want Lisa's attention divided between multiple children, but this is just such a weird plot development. This has nothing to do with what's going on in the movie. How is a man trapped in a dog's body the least interesting thing that's happening in this movie right now? So obviously this date doesn't go well, so she ends up going on a date with Kyle, where Kyle comes over, tells Lisa that he's gay, but he still wants to get married because his family will disown him if he doesn't marry a woman, and he's very rich, so he can provide for her. All in all, Lisa is not having good luck with men, but this summer, she might have good luck
with a fucking dog. What happens next in this movie is insane and very uncomfortable. After Kyle leaves, Lisa's just chilling, and her manager from the store comes in, very drunk, and tries to have his way with Lisa.
Lisa. Back off, she's mine.
Okay, dude, that's a pretty insane thing to say when a girl is getting assaulted, right?
You're fired.
I quit!
Now I'm the king of the castle.
This is such a weird moment to infuse like a comedic relief dog with the plot. This movie just got so dark, and the dog is like, guess I'm the only guy left around here now, huh? Guess I'm sort of king of the castle. Yeah, bro, I hate you. Ever thought about that? Ever thought about the fact that you suck ass so hard?
King of the castle. King of the castle that's also a dog and lives in a house that is green.
Why is he gay? Why is Kyle gay?
Sorry, that's what she's taking away from all this? Huh? Why is Kyle gay? Bro, there are more pressing issues right now. What is the writer of this movie doing? Anyway, she's completely broken down at this point. She ends up running outside into the rain, sitting down in the grass, crying with her dog, and she decides, you know what? That's it. No more men. Men are nothing but trouble. All I want is my dog.
From now on, no more men. I'm gonna stay with you. Only you. We'll live together forever.
Shebang!
I think that might be my favorite transition of all time. As a dog, he yells, shebang! So you'd think that as a human, he'd be standing there all proud of himself, maybe like, shebang! But he's just looking down at her with the blankest stare. Uh-oh. He doesn't look like he's got any thoughts behind those eyes. Maybe he was just a dog all along, and now he's a human with a dog brain. From here, the movie makes a super strange tonal shift from like a goofy comedy to like this really intense romance movie where they're in the rain. For some reason, Alvin, who now only goes by Prince for some reason, for the rest of the movie, they pretty much exclusively refer to him as Prince. He is not a goofy dog anymore. He's this like romantic man who's like, I just want to be your husband now. Let me love you. The guy who plays the human version of Prince isn't even the same guy that did the voice of the dog, and they act way different. He went from being like, hey, scratch my belly, babe, I'm trying to get laid, to like acting like Anakin Skywalker from Attack of the Clones.
I don't like Sam.
And I don't know about you guys, but I miss the old Prince. This one's probably not even horny all the time.
Don't be afraid. It's really me, your dog.
Don't be afraid. You have no reason to be afraid. It's me, your dog. If my dog did this, I would be fucking terrified. Hey, don't worry, it's me. The one who tries to hump your leg all the time, it's me. Don't worry, I'm a grown man now, and I still want to fuck your leg. So they're standing in the rain. Lisa is so confused that she passes out for like 3 seconds. She is not taking this well, but we do finally get an explanation as to why Prince was a dog.
In my past life, I was punished from being a cheating playboy. I was cursed to live as a dog.
Oh, so it's like a reincarnation thing. Finally, they explain this. At first, I thought that it was like in the same lifetime. Like he got cursed to be a dog in this lifetime. But no, it's a reincarnation thing. I am confused about the lore of the movie. Does that mean this could happen with any dog? Are all dogs like used to be people that fucked up in this life and now they're dogs? Or are some dogs maybe like a hamster that did really good in its life? Which I would imagine is probably a lot of hamsters. I feel like it's pretty hard to fuck up as a hamster. I wouldn't think there's much expectations of a hamster, really. It's all about expectations.
Let me be your husband.
God, thanks for answering my prayer. Yeah, you're my husband.
What? Huh? Okay, so that's all it takes? She's like, yeah, I guess you were a pretty good dog who I met just weeks ago. Sure, you're my husband now. So they end up getting married. They decide to live together. They spend the night together, but that's when this movie goes completely off the rails. I thought this was like the main plot line. He found love, now he's a human forever. Nope, the curse is not broken, and you will not guess how this movie ends. The next day, Prince wakes up, and he's a dog again. So he goes back to the pond to find out why.
You lied to me. I'm still a dog.
You were just